Matthew. We missed you last week, pal.
Hey, Zach
Brewer. What's up, Lee B? Oh, it sure does, too.
Does it? I can go back and change it after the show.
Damn, dopey.
What's up, Paul? Hey, Michelle.
Michelle Lencho.
Paul says our mission is to cheer you up.
We got you, Paul.
I'm feeling a little sad, Zachy, though. But we'll...
Sad Zach.
Matthew Mangus is already calling Harbaugh to Vegas.
How funny we were just talking about that randomly last night, and then that popped in the news today.
Yeah.
I like it.
I could get down with it.
Yeah, I like it.
The Sun, Raider Nation, Damage Inc., Raider Nation, Scotland.
Well, it says episode number 228, but welcome to episode number 229 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Baldinger, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? We appreciate you joining us here in Murph's Fan Cave for episode number 229 of Raiders Fan Radio. This is your buddy Murph here, and I appreciate you all joining us. Appreciate everybody joining us on the live show, and appreciate everybody that's joining us on the audio-only version of the podcast. And, of course, those of you listening on the Just Blog Baby website via our friends at Fansided, we appreciate them and our partnership with them so very, very much, and appreciate you checking in there. And regardless of where you check in with us, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, write a review anywhere on any service that you happen to use. Just please do us a favor and hit us up in that way. It helps support the show, and the more our show grows, the more money we generate. The more money we generate, the more we give away to our nonprofit, which is the One Nation Foundation. So appreciate everybody checking in tonight. Appreciate you continually checking into this show when it feels like you never know what you're going to get with the Raiders each and every week. And man, I'm telling you, this like the 4 out of 5 has just been a little rough, man. So we appreciate you checking in. We try to keep our spirits up around here, and I'm going to do my best. But I got to admit, man, I'm sad sacking a little bit.
Sad sack.
And the guy that always calls me out whenever I'm a sad sack and helps turn the ship around a little bit is the legend that sits to my right. He is the one and only man that adorns the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk. He is Uncle Mosh.
Let me hit the.
Whoa!
Hey, you know what I really like?
What do you like, Mosh?
I really like. Go back to your camera for a minute. So those of you on the podcast,
Yeah.
We got a new that new banner over the window. I really like that.
Oh, the Murph's Fan Cave banner?
Yes, that's so cool. If you're just listening to us, you need to tune in at some point on the YouTubes and America,
go to the YouTube
and check out the banner that Murph's pointing his finger at. And it's cool. That's cool. Where did we get that? Tell about that.
So that came from our good buddy Jimmy Zebach. We appreciate Jimmy. Of course, he's the guy that redid all of our logos. He approached us here in the. Everything okay?
Yeah, keep going.
Right. So he approached us.
Somebody told you to stop talking.
Sorry.
Shut up.
So our good friend Jimmy Zebach, who's an amazing graphic designer, said, "Hey man, I want to help you guys out with your logos." So you see on the YouTube show there, you see like our new logo there, the RFR logo. Got the new Murph's Fan Cave logo. Uncle Mosh has got a logo, and then like you see, we got the new banners with Raiders Fan Radio there. Let's see.
And they can get these, right? And like our loyal fans that haven't already can order stuff through when we get the Swaggy J. He'll tell us how we get there.
Yeah, you can order the shirts and stuff. We're not doing. You can't order the banners and stuff or the flags or anything like that.
Right, but you can get shirts and stuff.
But you can get shirts and stuff. Yeah. So and you mentioned Swag Jeff. He's the guy that handles all of our cool merch around here. And of course our social media director. Welcome to the show, the one and only man that adorns the southern annex of the western annex of the Murph's Fan Cave. Jess, what's up, Swaggo?
Yes, man. Oh my gosh, it's good to be here. We don't have a ton to celebrate this week, but we do have a little to celebrate, and we're all wearing the shirt.
Yeah, so talk about that, man. What you got going on there?
Yeah, so we got the notification yesterday. We had our sources, and yes, Will Compton is back in black.
That's it. Back in silver and black. Celebrate the boy.
Absolutely, man.
The wolf.
Absolutely. He'll be wearing number 57 this year, but for the rest of the season, he'll be number 1 in our hearts, man. And we're super stoked for the boy, man.
Congratulations to Will, man. Of course, we're big fans of the boys, the Bustin' with the Boys podcast, and glad to see him back in silver and black.
We take a little bit of heat about Will. We have taken on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, Will Compton bootlickers and you're all that.
Yeah.
We like the guy.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice
funny
guy. He's a local guy. Well, he's made himself local.
Yeah.
And we have fun with them. You know, he's been to the cave.
Murph, Swag Jeff, and who's the third guy?
Shut up, Will, you rat bastard. We like the guy.
We like the guy. Yeah. We like all the Bussin' with the Boys crew, of course. Blas and Alex and all the guys, JP.
Yeah.
Really, really cool crew. And in fact, I've got a bet with Blas on the upcoming Army-Navy game.
Yes.
So go Navy, beat Army.
Absolutely.
Blas is a big Niner fan, and hopefully hopefully Navy wins, because otherwise I got to wear a Niner thing on the show. I know. Don't drink and play on Twitter and bet people.
No kidding. Holy crap. That's a horrible idea.
Someone needs to tell that to Basaccia.
Oh!
Well.
All right, well, welcome in, everybody. Hey, Swag Jeff, shout out the chat room there. What's going on in the YouTube, and tell us how people can find us live.
Yeah, absolutely. We got, and Blas is in there.
No way.
Yeah, Blas is in there. He says the boy, man. Hey, go Army is what he says.
What's up, Blas?
Yeah, man. So Blas is in there. Tyrone Graves is in there. Paul Edgerton is in there. Let's see. Daniel Megas killed Jadis. Michelle Sweat, Lee B. Raiderborn Rico's in there. Mojo's in there. We got everyone, man.
That's
okay,
awesome.
so everybody's like, what up, Murph? Army. No, we got Navy connections.
Yeah, my son's in the Navy.
Your son's in the Navy. His brother's in the Navy. My dad was in the Navy. Our collective Mojo is a career Navy person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guess what, Blas?
That's
Anchors
awesome.
away, my friend.
There we go, man. Absolutely. And you know what? I got to say, man, that's the other reason I did like having a friendly betting investment in it.
Sure.
To me, it's one of the coolest college football games all year long. It doesn't matter how good the teams are.
No.
It's just the I hate to call it pageantry, but just the showcase of what it is, when it is, just the look of it, seeing all the everybody in attendance. It's such a cool event, man. You can't beat the Army-Navy game. Go Navy. So appreciate you joining us. Did you tell them how to find us live, Swag Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. Every Wednesday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, Raiders or YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. You can find us on Facebook Live, Twitch, all that good stuff. We'll get more into that in the contact info section of the show. But yeah, you can find us everywhere, man.
And jump into the coolest chat room, man, and all Raider Nation.
Kidding,
we
man.
appreciate you guys in there so very, very much. Again, always appreciate the audio listens. But if you can join us live on Wednesday nights, we would appreciate you jumping in there. All right, so as I mentioned, this is episode number 229 of Raiders Fan Radio. And Swag Jeff always takes our episode number and ties it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And Swag Jeff, what do we got tonight?
I got a fun one.
Oh, nice.
We
need some fun around here. I'm telling you guys, like I always get up for the show, and I know we get to hang out. We're all best buddies and family. But man, I'm telling you, I had a moment with all this.
Quit your bitching. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I'm with you. But this one's...
you quit too. Holy crap. Why don't you two go down and commiserate, and I'll handle the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Son of a gun.
There you go. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, $8 donation.
Thank you,
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Aaron.
you.
And
Thank you for your positive attitude. Look who I'm with.
Right. So, episode 229, I take a significant moment every week within Raider Nation, tie it back to the episode number, and this one's a fun one. We're going back to January 9th, 1977.
Ooh, nice.
One of the greatest games in Raider history.
Oh, yes, sir.
We're talking about Super Bowl 11.
Let's go, dude.
The Raiders wallop the Vikings 32-14.
Damn right.
Between Jack Tatum taking heads off, Stabler leading the offense, and Old Man Willie sealing the game, it was an incredible game from start to finish. But today, we're going to highlight the running game.
Okay, come on.
The backfield was led by Clarence Davis, Mark Van Egan, and Pete Banaszak.
Yes.
Yep.
Between the three of them, they rushed for 229 yards.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. That's a good one,
It's
Jeff.
a fun one, man. It's a good one.
You watched that Super Bowl.
I did watch that Super Bowl.
You did watch that Super Bowl with me.
Did I really?
Yeah, you sure did. Over at your parents' house.
No kidding.
Me and Murph and your namesake and your dad and my brother, and we all got together and watched that Super Bowl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was living with you guys then.
Oh,
That was my senior year.
Yeah, because I would have been three not quite four. Yeah.
You were a pain in the ass.
And I was born 11 and a half years later.
You got the crickets over there?
Yeah, okay. So we were trying to celebrate what you said, and then you ruined it.
Jeez, yeah, well.
Yeah, good job.
I thought you were going to try to bring up the room tonight.
Well, I did it with that 229.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
that
you
was
did.
fantastic.
I had to mellow it down.
Hey, and listen, and you know what, too, and I got to say this. I'm gonna. Okay. I tweeted out some stuff this week about, historically Al Davis quotes, and one of them in particular, it's better to be feared than be respected. And I get a lot of pushback on Twitter at times because people will say, like, it's time to live in the now, Murph. That was so long ago, and the Raiders are different. Those are not the I get it, and I understand that. But look, man, right now, and sometimes unfortunately, we got to look into our past to be able to celebrate it because it was great. So just because it wasn't like recently doesn't mean that we can't celebrate it. And that was the thing that built what this Raider thing is. And in fact, if anything, Mosh, let me throw this to you before we get to contact info. I would encourage everybody. Now is a better time than ever to embrace our past because the longer we go of having disappointing seasons, like the further we get away from it, and I don't want to forget that stuff. I want to remember that 1977 and 1981 and 1984 and like it hit me on the dates. You guys know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying? Like those, like I don't want to lose sight of that. I don't want to just because it was a long time ago doesn't mean that I want to forget it.
So there were times we had lean times in our lives. We've all had lean times in our lives. And usually that, it's things are cyclical. Good times follow, bad times follow, good times follow, bad times. There's ups and downs in everything. And, growing up the youngest of four kids in a single parent household, there was better Christmases than others. So there was times when Christmas wasn't so good. And when your birthday's 2 days before Christmas and you get one package, oh, that's your birthday Christmas present. Well, you rat bastards. What about them people who had birthdays in July?
Yeah.
So, and you didn't get something that was so great. Follow with me. So what do? You thank them. Oh, yeah, I appreciate the socks and the underwear. Now I'm going to go ride my bike I got 4 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to do that. You're thankful that you got a Christmas present. I'm thankful that I got the Raiders now to get my football fix to play with. But I'm going to go ride my bike that I got on January 11th, 1977. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yes.
So
yes.
Shut up about living in the past. You know, it's the past. It's what we got. You know, when the here and now ain't so good, you know, when you ain't got nothing to eat, them leftovers look really tasty.
Absolutely. You know? And look, and I feel for younger, and I hear this too. I hear it from a lot of the made men that, well, when's it going to be our time? And that's great that you guys got to live that. You know, Jeff, you mentioned you were born 11 years after the freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, you've never seen the Raiders be great.
Right.
You've never been able to experience it. And I feel for that. And my comments, and Mosh's, if I'm allowed to speak for him, are not to dismiss that importance. Of course we want you to have those experiences and all that. But just because our experiences haven't been recent doesn't mean that we're not going to celebrate. Like, I am not going to ever stop singing the praises of Al Davis. It's never going to happen.
Absolutely.
And I don't care if it's a different league. Yeah, who gives a shit? I'm sorry. It's still Al Davis. He still crafted what this organization is. We're still living on it today. And just because it hasn't been great doesn't mean that this guy never freaking existed and didn't build exactly everything that we ride on as Raider fans. So whether it's commitment to excellence, pride and poise, fear to respected, the light that burns brightest in the Raider organization is the will to win, whatever, those things never go away. So I'm going to keep screaming it. And if people don't like it on Twitter, then unfollow.
Change the channel.
Change the damn channel.
There you go.
All right, let's hit some contact information, Mosh. Let's get to some show. Jay.
Holy crap.
Man, I'm telling you, I got a lot built up.
Hey, Raider Nation. You got old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murph would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, the tiki-tiki-taki-tak, TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio, or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
All right, so here at the top of the show, we like to tell you about another show that's on the network, and that show is called Flashback. So speaking of the past, you can join in with our good buddy Rich Schmelter, who is the author of the Raiders Encyclopedia, in his fantastic show each and every week that drops right before our nightly episode, or whatever, before this drops at night. Did I say that? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just go check out.
It's on there.
It's on there. Episode number 18, Ted Hendricks, free-spirited and Hall of Fame linebacker. So check that out as our good buddy Rich tells you different stories from the history of the Raiders and always provides some amazing insight, being the accredited author and incredible knowledge base that he is.
So we got to really, if you're not following along on the chat, if you're just watching the YouTube or if you're listening to the podcast, it's really a lot of fun. It's very insightful. Our chat is amazing, full of people with unbelievable football knowledge. And there's some good stuff in there. Our buddy Raider-born Rico, he's Italian. He lives in the Canary Islands, and he says the only people who need to watch videos of the past are the players now, because we know what we're talking, they don't.
There you go.
Take
Rico.
a shot and speak the truth, Rico.
Get after it, Rico, man. We appreciate that. Love Rico's passion, of course, and always bringing the thunder. And he brought it tonight, too. So when we get in the Sea of Fans mailbag tonight, that's when we hear from you, Raider Nation. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy what you're hearing. There's a lot of the passion is evident when it comes to the callers and emailers this week, and we appreciate them. So here at the top, we always we like to give respect. Here at the top of the show, we don't do props, we don't do shout-outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we like to give respect. So we got a handful of folks to give respect to tonight. First off, this wasn't in the rundown, guys, but I wanted to show this. So I get this in the mail, and so it says right there, Merry Christmas, right? And it's got, for those of you on the audio podcast, it's a picture of Charles Woodson in front of the Al Davis torch, speaking of Al, and he's got his town shirt on, and it says Merry Christmas. And then looking on the back of it, it's got a Raiders Fan Radio logo.
How cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck, man? So I opened this thing up, and I knew just by seeing it on the address, I could tell it was international. And so sure enough, I want to give a lot of respect to our good friend Paul. And we say Shropshire, Mississippi, but he is, of course, over there in England. And he says, best wishes to all at RFR and the entire RFR family, plus a little something for the One Nation Foundation. And there was a sizable bill in there. And then he says, of course, Raiders fan for life. And he says, his lordship, the royal scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Much respect.
That's awesome.
Paul, man, that is so cool.
So cool. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul, and I will put this up proudly here in the Murph's Fan Cave shop behind the Murph's Fan Cave desk. I appreciate you very, very much. All right, so some more respect I want to give. So I was out in Vegas this last weekend, out there speaking of Will Compton. Out there in Vegas for the Will Compton Bowl, because it was the Raiders.
Las Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas. That's where the Raiders play.
Okay. Oh, they moved from Oakland.
Yeah.
wait. They moved from L.A.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they're live at Allegiant Stadium, and so
so we know about the game. I want to hear more about your trip. Did you have a good time?
Oh my gosh, I had an incredible time. It was absolutely amazing. So I got to sit in the second row next to the cameraman in the black hole in the end zone. Absolutely incredible seats. It just, I got kind of mixed feelings, and this is where, and I'm not gonna sad sack, I promise, but I will say this: after now being in Vegas for the fourth time and going to my second game, there's a different vibe. It's just different, and we've said from day one on this thing, we knew Vegas wasn't going to be Oakland, and that's okay. It was going to be different.
It has to grow into its own.
It has to be its own thing, and that's okay. But I got to tell you, I'm starting to really miss the Oakland vibe. I sat around a bunch of Washington football team fans. They were fine. They were cool. We had a lot of fun banter and making fun of each other and all that kind of. So the fans weren't disruptive or jerky or nothing. But it was kind of weird sitting in that section surrounded by another team's fans, and I was surrounded by like 8 of them. And so I was the only Raider fan. That was weird. And so you don't see that, or didn't. I'm not going to pretend like no one ever sat in those sections. I'm not going to pretend like that never happened. But the vibe is just different. And we've said it also on this show numerous times. I don't condone violence. I don't condone asshole behavior. And the people that participated in that stuff in Oakland was not a good look. But I will say this, by Al Davis's design, he wanted the opposing team, the opposing fans, anybody that didn't have an affiliation with the Raiders to be afraid when they went into our facility.
Absolutely.
Intimidation was one of his big things.
Intimidation was huge. He wanted them to be scared from the time they rolled in on the bus, from the way that the place looked, from the way that the people looked, the way that the team looked, all those things. That's not there anymore. It's just not. And it's, again, that's not knocking Vegas. It's not knocking the Vegas experience per se, but because I'm such a nostalgic guy, I kind of found myself longing for that a little bit and was kind of bummed at times. Not bummed but yeah, it really is different. It's not that same thing. Because for a guy that literally grew up in the Oakland Coliseum, I found myself missing it. So I can miss it, but then I can appreciate what Vegas is because it's beautiful. Sitting in that spot, looking up at the big sign there, Allegiant Stadium, watching the players come in. I'm right there next to where the players come out, and It was awesome. It was great.
But by the same token, you said thanks to those many people that fed you and gave you beers and anything else. That's where you said that it was capturing. And I'm talking about the tailgate before the game.
Yes. Now that's where it felt like home. That's where it felt great. So when I got there, I'm walking up to the stadium. And I run into Chuck Splatterhead and his co-host in Inebriation, Groby. I had seen Chuck's band the night before play on Saturday. Much respect to Chuck. Like, he gave us like a big shout out, gave Raiders Fan Radio a big shout out to the crowd. Saw him in like, it's like this it's literally called the Dive Bar. This like grungy, gnarly punk club. Their band is phenomenal. I had an absolute blast hanging out with those guys and seeing Chuck's show on Saturday. So just randomly ran into them on the way into the stadium. Went with those guys over to the Black Hole tailgate. Saw some good friends of ours over there, DJ Mike Scott, like, you know, the whole Black Hole crew that they're familiar with. Hung out at that tailgate and walked from the end of the Black Hole tailgate where it's at in the lot there, it's all the way on the corner, took that walk all the way up to Allegiant Stadium. Reminded me a lot of Oakland. It was an Oakland tailgate. It was that vibe. It was Lot N. Like, you guys are so from it. Like,
good.
It wasn't as big. It wasn't as vast as it is in Oakland. But for that
growing.
one long lane, it was fantastic.
Nice.
And so really enjoyed that. The music, the people, the dance, and you know what I mean? All that stuff. It was wonderful. So I applaud everybody that's doing those tailgates over there. Then our good friend Trinidad invited me over to their tailgate over in Lot Z.
Yeah.
So Trinidad,
tell that story.
Trinidad sent because I didn't know where Lot Z was and I couldn't find it. And Trinidad goes, hang on, call this number. His name is Dan. He's in a rickshaw. He's going to come get you and bring you to us.
Oh, nice.
So I go, cool. So I walk across the street to the Chevron station right there from across from the stadium. And sure enough, here comes this dude in a rickshaw with a big giant Raider chain on. And he's like, Murph? And I go, yeah, Dan. He goes, yeah, get on. So I get on and dude drives me in the rickshaw over to where Trinidad's tailgate is, and I come pulling up, and there's like 8 or 10 people at Trinidad's tailgate, and everybody all at the same time, like, hey, you know what? And those guys were the freaking coolest. And so much respect, of course, to Trinidad for the invite, but his whole crew, and I can't remember everybody's names, but Juan and Hilo, and it was a handful, they were the coolest crew,
awesome.
man. And the ceviche was fantastic. The Modelos were cold. It was great, man. I had an awesome time hanging out with those guys. And so, yeah, Mosh, that's what it's all about. And then I go walking into the stadium, and I'm going down to my seats, and I'm texting back and forth with Ramon, our good friend Raider Ramon. Keep getting in good health, my friend. And, so I see Ramon down there.
He's looking pretty good, too.
He looked great, man. And he's down. So I'm walking in on like 122, and he's in 123, like a section over. And like when we saw each other, because he's down all the way at like the front, like at the rail. And he's like, Murph! And I'm like, Ramon! It was like the Red Sea parting. And I go right down the middle of the thing, crawling across seats to go run down there to where he's at. Hung out with Ramon for a little bit, talked to him, met his new wife. Like that's the stuff, Mosh. And I'm glad you asked that question because I'm sure you can hear the passion in my voice. That's the stuff where I always say Raider Nation is freaking undefeated. Like regardless of the facility, the way the team plays, like none of that stuff matters. Raider fans freaking rule. You cannot beat us when it comes to the way that we involve with each other, the community aspect of it. It's absolutely amazing. I love you guys and so much damn respect to everybody that opened up from their tailgates to everything else to me while I was there. The only thing I wish you guys would have been there with me. That was the only drawback. You know what I mean?
I don't know that rickshaw guy could have handled our Swaggy and my fat ass along with you at the same time.
Well, and I love that picture that you took with Ramon of both of you guys flexing your Made Men tattoos.
Made Men tattoo.
That's freaking cool,
Ramon,
dude.
the first guy to ever get RFR ink, man. He's got Get Made, of course, on his Raider shield.
Right.
And so, yeah, man, it was really, really cool, man. And I just, that experience, like I said, you can't miss out on. And so appreciate everybody so very much for that. All right.
So Erica S is in the chat, says, hey, Nation, Murph's on a soapbox. Why am I not surprised?
I know, right?
That's awesome.
That's, you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons that I have a podcast.
There you go.
We have a podcast. You know what I mean? Is to get this stuff out. And, because look, here's the thing, and I'm glad Moss asked a question. I'll move on from it quickly and we'll get into the show. But we could sit here and lament the Raiders sucking on the field forever. And I'm sure.
Why?
But why? And I'm sure that like there are other shows and other people doing that stuff, and that's fine. If that's the content they're rolling with, then like knock yourself out. But that's not what we're gonna do. And even as disappointed as that game was, and as much of a sad sack as I feel, all it took was you asking a question about the people, and it's like, oh, okay, it was fine, it was great. Like that's what it's all about.
It was live football.
It's live football, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the freaking Raiders. It's still silver and damn black, man.
Yeah.
You just can't go wrong. All right. So Paul says, what time is the top of the show this week? Well, we're at it, Paul. Right here at the top of the show.
Thank you all for showing up tonight.
Hey, Graphic Raiders in there. What's up, Graph?
What's up, Graph? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you joining us there in the chat room, and appreciate everybody that's in there, man. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Tyrone Graves, Mark Thompson, Erica S., Duke City Raider. What's up, Martine? Lee B., Raider Twan is in there. Ron the Mater Raider, of course, holding it down. Ebony Graves, the Big Easy. Man, so many of our good friends. Raider Born Rico, Mark Thompson, Jesus Alvarez. Hey, what's up, Jesus? That's Jesus is the guy that did this painting right here of Hunter Renfro. And I've got yours coming, Jesus. I promise. I've got a print for you. I'm going to get sent to you. Sean Johnson is in there. Matthew Mangus. All right, so let's get into some show here. I got a couple more quick things of respect I want to give. Number one is I want to give it to our good friend Tom. You hear him call this show all the time as the Raider Karaoke Kid and a handful of other things. And as Mosh calls him, Swag calls him. Thumb. He's got a show called Raider Roots, and he asked if we would give him a shout out, give him some respect. And absolutely, go check out Tom and support all the content creators out there, man, except for those couple guys, and you know who they are. But other than that, like, we love all the amazing content creators out there. Tom is part of the Only Nation podcast and does the Raider Roots podcast. He's got episode number 21 out there, so go out there and support what he's doing, along with like our buddy Graf there, who just jumped in. What a great show, man! Well, how killer, how awesome is his rise?
Oh my gosh,
the dude is killing it.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the amount of money that he raised for Tina Tintor's family and stuff. I mean, like, he brought all that together, and he's growing like crazy, and he didn't hold back either. After this game, he was on Twitter and like going live and all that, and he was fiery, man.
Is he fiery?
And I dig it because that's how we all feel right now. I love it.
I'm with you, and that's the passion, man. And it comes out in different ways from different Raider fans, but that's ultimately to us what defines you as a Raider fan. Not how long you've been a fan, not whether you go to games, not where you live. What's the passion that you bring to this damn Raider thing, man? And do you celebrate it as family? Because that's what it's all about. All right. So one last bit of respect, and then we're going to get into this game a little deeper against the Washington football team. We want to give respect to a guy that unfortunately is hurt right now. Hopefully he'll get to see the field again very, very soon. But it is Darren Waller. And so the NFL nominates, each team in the NFL each year nominates one player from their team as a Walter Payton Man of the Year candidate. And then the NFL selects at their honors event at the end of the year, selects one winner from that. So the Raiders have nominated Darren Waller, and very, very rightfully so, if you ask me. And I'm going to assume the other two guys that are joining me here tonight.
Yep.
And so let's check in with Darren. Quick little interview here, quick little segment on Darren Waller accepting his nomination as Walter Payton Man of the Year.
I'm Darren Waller. I'm the 2021 Raiders Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominee.
Pretty good.
That's him handing out presents to kids.
There you go. There you go. I mean, you look at maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was probably the last person that would even be considered for that role. So, I do find gratitude, and it allows me to reflect and see, how far I've come and how much I've changed, from the inside out, and how, I do care about the community that I'm in and the world that I'm in, and, shedding my light in a positive way. So I try to take that seriously when I'm in the building, when I'm outside the building, and the people that are around me every day recognize it. That's what means the most.
We're excited to watch it. Thank you so much for your time coming out here.
What are the main ones that kind of give you the most joy and the most, satisfaction in being able to give back?
I'll definitely say being able to send people to treatment. That worked numbers on my life and allowed me to do a complete 360. And I would say, just getting in, talking to kids in high schools, whether it be football players, whether it be normal kids, just kind of telling them about my story and helping them be able to navigate some of the same stresses and same things that give them anxiety in a more positive way than I did. So just getting in front of them, because I could just see the younger version of myself when I look at them.
Trying to relax, and that's pretty comfortable and relaxing.
I want want to be able to, people to be able to say like, wow, like being around him changed me, or it motivated me, or it made me feel, loved or safe or whatever it was. I want them to be able to say that because I was around them.
What do you want your off-the-field legacy to be?
I mean, kind of just changing the culture of, what men are about, what men do or what men embody. It's like strength and toughness. I would like that definition to be changed and what it historically has been. More vulnerability, more just letting people see who the real you is. Not worrying about being viewed as soft or viewed as this or that, but putting your emotions at the top of the list when it comes to importance in your life, like really valuing, what you feel instead of stuffing it down to try to perform or to try to put on a mask or something like that. So I want it to be like, okay, like he was really down to be different when it came to, what a man is and what a man should strive to be. I want the work to speak for itself more than it's just, me getting an award.
All right, there is Darren Waller. Congratulations on your nomination. Swag, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Like, he referred to it as a redefinition. I don't know if I'm fully in that, but at least broadening the scope, right? Because he mentions it specifically, what it is to be a man. And I think that it's important. Like, while we can still, I think, embrace toughness and all those things, but at the same time, like, owning whatever your stuff is out front and not feeling like it's going to make you weak, or you know what I mean? Like it's okay that you don't have to apologize for it for emotion. Like, and I thought that was an incredibly not odd, but it's rare. Like, you don't hear that a lot. And so for that to be his platform, I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. We always say you can't define players by what they've done before. You can only, say, well, what are you going to do now and stuff like that. So I think that's a perfect example of that. And what better of a man than Darren Waller, who has had a very dark past, that is now outspoken and sober, and is, he helped Max Crosby do the same thing.
Yes.
And he's reset his narrative. We always talk about that,
yes.
He changed the narrative for himself and came out a better man. And I mean, kudos to the guy. That's an incredible platform.
Absolutely. I totally agree, man. Right on. All right, let's go ahead and jump into talking about this Washington football team, because we have to.
Are you sure?
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
So before we're sad sacks and talk about this game, I do want to say...
We're not going to be sad sacks.
Well, two of us are.
Well, you're crying, sniveling babies in.
Well, it's fine.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so my wife's in the chat.
Hey!
My wife's in the chat.
Who is not a sad sack,
She
by the
says,
way.
"Hi, nation, swag wife here. My kids just walked in, seeing me watch the show, and now they won't stop yelling, Raiders!
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right on. Raise them right, raise them Raiders, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh, how funny.
All right, so, okay. I kind of platformed already about this. I saw that one, yeah. So I kind of platformed already about kind of some of the experience with the game and whatever. I'll just say this. I think what it was ultimately, and I'll keep it brief because I want to throw it over to Mosh and let these guys talk. You've heard enough from me already tonight. Especially in being there, that there was energy from the crowd. And I'm not saying that the guys didn't necessarily get up for the game or whatever. Like, I don't doubt their dedication. I'm not trying to say that. But it didn't feel like there was a ton of energy from the Raiders sidelines and in the game. And this is this up and down emotion and mentality that we're seeing from the Raiders each and every week. And it's just, you would feel or think that when everything is literally on the line, like this is, the thing has to change now. Like there is no time. We don't have the luxury of time anymore. And yet it's still kind of slow going. So let's check in with Josh Jacobs. And he references this, and you can hear his frustration about it, but it's just an interesting dynamic of what's going on with the team.
Josh, you guys have had a hard time getting going offensively a lot this season. What are the issues, and how frustrating is it that you aren't able to solve those, and that keeps coming up week after week?
It's very frustrating. Yeah, it's definitely very frustrating, really annoying, really just starting slow every week. I feel like and taking too long to be who we are. It's definitely frustrating, and I kind of voiced that a little bit today.
How did you voice that?
I'll just come to the offensive line and to the receivers and tell them we gotta be who we are or who we think we are, and we gotta have some juice and some energy and some type of swag to us. I feel like we come in just stiff and dull in games sometimes, and I don't feel like it should take somebody having a big play for everybody to take to that mindset of wanting to be on that. So that's kind of just where I was at with it. Kirby used to tell me all the time, inspire the guys with how you play and the effort that you put on the field. And that's what I try to do. But some games it just be like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I totally agree with him on that, and it seems like the last several weeks especially, you get a feel of what the entire game is going to be like right away.
The first drive,
you can tell it. So the game against who we just beat, we beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Deshaun Jackson.
They came out freaking hot. They came out with a score right off the bat. Deshaun Jackson, everyone's going nuts. And I thought, okay, we might win this thing. I feel like we will. But then you look at games like Cincinnati and Washington, and you see both of them go down and, go down and score real quick and all that. I mean, the Cincinnati game, we had the ball at the 10-yard line and couldn't put it in the end zone, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I felt that way this week, too, because they go down and score a drive, and then we go in there and lay an egg right away, and I'm like, this might be a long game.
I'm with you. It kind of feels like that early in the game, and I'm with you. And I think that's what Josh is saying. And I'm glad to hear that he was willing to call out the team, that he addressed the offensive line. I got a feeling he addressed everybody on the offense in there. But I'm with you. Like, it's that idea of like that they can't get going, and that is going to dictate what happens to the rest of the game. I think is unfortunate at a minimum, and that's where I don't understand why it's so inconsistent. And I don't understand, and I'm not going to pin everything on Derek. I got plenty to go in on Derek on, which I will here in a little bit. But it's just like the emotion to me should be consistent at a minimum. Like, Mosh, don't you feel like I get it if you have a bad day. I get if you have a bad game. I get that. But what's the one thing you can control is your approach, your emotion. And it's not even like it's a mystery. Like, it's clearly evident. The looks on their faces, just the body language, everything is so different week to week. Like, that's been the hardest thing, I think, as a fan watching this stuff. What did you see? What did you feel on it?
Well, here's the thing. There's no doubt in my mind that these guys that are going into this game are going in 100%. Okay? Are they not prepared? Are they not physically ready? Are they 1,000 other things? Are they being given poor plays? Are they not executing? Are they, there's a million speculations that we can look at. Why are we up 1 week and why are we down 1 week? Why are we here you go, Kevin. Why are we episode 4 of Star Wars versus episode 8? Right?
Nice.
Because there you go. Yeah, I can be topical.
Yeah, I like it.
But
Mosh.
absolutely, episode 4 was my favorite, and episode 8 sucked.
Awful.
By everybody else's standards. But they're still part of the Star Wars culture. So we're sucking right now. We're not a good football team right now. We're a mediocre football team, but we're our football team. What am I going to do? Bash them?
No, well...
I'm not. And I'll tell you, those of you that know what I do, I'm a retired high school teacher, and now I got a new job, and I'm a theater director. And when my shows are over, I don't go greet the public. I hide in the booth. Okay, for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's not about me. It's about the kids that I put on stage. They need the accolades. Number 2, when some jackwagon says to me, hey, that kid missed their lines in the second act, blah, blah. You don't think I know that? You stupid ass. Do you not know that I know that? Do you not know that I know every single thing about every single thing that happens on that stage? It's the same thing. Do you not know that these football players know where they went wrong? That they didn't have the passion, that they ran the wrong route, that he threw the wrong ball? They know. Their coaches know. Their front office knows. And you got all these slap happies, you and me and Swaggy and everybody else that's sad sacking. We're not telling them anything that they don't know. All we can do as fans is grin and bear it. We don't have to like it. We can get another team. We can take down all this silver and black shit that you got up everywhere and put up baby blue Titan crap. But we're not going to do that. We're going to grin and bear it. You know, we're not going to go kill ourselves, and we're not going to, we're just going to go, man, they got to quit doing this to us. Okay, what do we got for dinner? You know, we can still, and that doesn't mean that my passion's any less than yours. It is, because you're stupid and over the top with it, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got to do the best we can. We just got to get through.
I get it. And those are fair points, Mosh. And I don't think that look, if your passion for the team wavers because they're not good, well, then I question your dedication to your fandom to begin with. But I think that by doing what we do and engaging with Raider Nation the way that we do, I think that look, I like talking about football. And
absolutely.
And so I like talking about these numbers, because here's what's interesting. And Jeff, I'm going to throw it to you. So here's what I don't understand is that Rich Bisaccia, and we're going to hear him in a second, openly critical of the quarterback and the way that he approached this game. When you look at the numbers, I don't do math, but I love numbers. Derek Carr comes out and goes 4 for 5 on 21 yards the opening drive before they punted. The 4 completions traveled a collective negative 13 yards downfield. They had 10 days to prepare for the 30th ranked pass defense. I don't get it. Explain that to me, how you can be so inept, so inefficient, turn in such a dog shit performance, and 1 week, and then watch, we'll go into Arrowhead and beat the stupid Chiefs.
Okay, so let me
and all of a sudden we're going to be like, oh, the Raiders are great.
And that's a great point, Murph. And here's another point. When Bisaccia took over Gruden's job, did he also take over Gruden's contract? Did he get the $10 million a year? If he did, or however much money he makes a year, he screwed up. Maybe he didn't prepare him right. Maybe, who knows?
And I think that's
kind of where I'm going. That you can look at Bisaccia as this is a contract year for him because he's playing for his job.
Absolutely.
So okay, we'll compare it to what you do as a career, as a theater teacher and as a director. Do you want mediocrity? You want to put the best actors and actresses in the best position. If you have a guy as your lead role and your star that is missing his lines and is missing his cues, then it's time to go.
To go. You cut him.
So and we'll hear from Bisaccia later a couple different things. He's critical and all that stuff, but something.
But to your analogy, you don't cut him in Act 2. And you could equate that to the season.
No, but it's not Act 2.
It's Act 8.
It's the 13th. It's the 13th show.
But
that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah,
we're 6 and 6.
But I think
he's an 8th-year senior.
I think there's
what I'm saying?
I think there's a little homie coming out here because you're wanting your boy there.
No, I want this team to win.
Yeah,
I want this team to win.
Obviously, we all want that team to win.
Okay,
but what I'm saying is that your passion leaning towards Mariota corner has a tendency to cloud your view on Carrisms.
But the question is, who's going to bring us to the I'm not promised land.
Tannehill?
No, I don't think Marcus Mariota will win us a Super Bowl. But can he win Week 13 against the Chiefs? F&A right.
Seen him win before.
I think so.
And once again, I despise quoting Kevin. But Kevin has a good quote. Loving the Raiders is like being in love with a substance abuser. You love them no matter what while they're self-destructing. It's really true.
Well, and
it's really true.
Well, and since our conversation kind of went there,
no,
go ahead. What is it, Mom? Go ahead.
No, because I know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to hit us with 10,000 stats on why we should replace Derek.
But listen, no, here's the important
I'm not going to eat chicken wings while you do that. Go ahead.
Here's the important point to denote, okay? Because here's the conversation. Here's what happened. Now, Mosh, you're not on social media, so you don't see this.
By choice.
Yes. The constant conversation is between Derek Carr's statistical prowess and lack of wins. There's Mosh eating chicken wings. I love it. There you go. Get that, Mosh.
He's my favorite. Always has been.
Yeah, he is. All right. So it's about his statistical prowess that he has all these Raiders records are statistically our greatest quarterback ever. That I am not bashing Derek Carr. I am a Derek Carr fan. Let me preface that on the front end. I am a Derek Carr fan. I will support him as long as he is the Las Vegas Raiders starting quarterback. He is my favorite my favorite quarterback in the NFL, in all of football. So this is not lack of support. What this is, in the interest of fair and balanced discussion and constantly hearing about how great he is on the stat sheet, I'm going to lobby you some other stuff too that I think that it's fair to, at a minimum, consider. Okay? Now, you can point at play calling because, and there's been a lot of pointing at play calling. The Raiders are 30th in the NFL in third down rate at 33%. And since Gruden left, they were 26 before he went, despite having the fifth fewest in yards per game. So they're the lowest, and yet they're not converting despite having the fifth lowest in yards per game. Is that play calling? Is that Derek's fault? I don't know. I would say that it's at least fair to discuss it around play calling.
Sure.
The Raiders are 5-49 with Carr at quarterback when he scores less, and the team scores less than 20 points. The league average is it just gives a percentage. It's 0.72 versus the Raiders 0.93. Point is, though, is that the Raiders are 48-20, which is a 706 winning percentage, with Carr at quarterback when they score more than 20 points. The Raiders, when a team allows 27 or more in their careers, Derek Carr is 15-44. When the team allows 20 or few points, he's 22-15. If you wanted to compare that to the gold standard, which is Tom Brady, Tom Brady's winning percentage is .938. He's 166-11 when the team allows 20 or fewer points. At some point, we have got to acknowledge that there is an issue there.
Sure.
Whether it's entirely on him or not, blame it on the coordinators, blame it on the play call, whatever. The bottom line is the throughput that we've had with this team and the lack of success has been Derek Carr. I've got a couple more, and then please take over.
Okay.
When the Raiders score 20 or more since 2014, they have a 706 winning percentage, which is higher than the league average. When they have the seventh most games with less than 20, they're 5-51 in those games. In those wins, Derek Carr ranks fourth in air yards per attempt, fourth in air yards per completion, and he ranks 20th in air yards per attempt and 29th per completion. The most games started at quarterback since 2014 when a team scores less than 20 points, Derek Carr is number one at 54. These are the things that, explain this to me. This is what I don't understand. If we know what the challenge is, if we know what the problem is, and whether regardless of the terms that have dictated it, if we're not pushing the ball downfield, I don't care how many 20-plus yard attempts that you have, when you don't consistently push the ball downfield, you don't consistently attack the defense, you lose. So why are we not doing it anymore? Ever. Explain that to me, Jeff. Give me some logic here. I don't get it.
And you're exactly right, And a lot of people, whether you're a Carr supporter, he's my guy no matter what, whether you're on the other end of that, whatever. Everyone can agree that something has got to happen. Something's got to change because what we got going right now, it ain't working.
It ain't working.
We started 5-2. We're 6-6. That ain't good. Now, whether it's Derek Carr, whether it's play calling, whether it's whatever, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's a combination, I'm sure, of a lot of different things, injuries, I don't know, losing your head coach, losing your number one wide receiver. There's a lot of different things that are going on, and I understand that. And I'm not saying that it's all Derek Carr's fault. But at some point, when you start 5-2 and then go 1-4, I mean, let's try something. I mean, I don't think anyone can be too upset if the team tries, well, maybe let's put in Marcus and see if anything, see if they put a spark in, let's do, and he's the example because that's the leader at the helm. That's the guy. Maybe let's see if we can do something else, because there's no reason that you let Washington score 17 points at home in Las Vegas and you lose. There's no reason that should have been an L.
I totally agree. And look, and if that's not a game that you can't get up for with everything that's riding on the line, your former head coach across the sideline talking shit about you all week long, why is there not emotion there behind? Again, and I'm not pinning it all on Derek. It's the entirety of the team. As Mosh always says, there's 53 people that take the field every week. It is not entirely on him, but he's the leader. He's the guy that's the face of our organization when it comes to players. And so I just think that it's time to start having these fair conversations. All right, so speaking of that, let's check in with Derek. Listen to this, Mosh. This is him talking about kind of Jack Del Rio and Greg Olsen and whatnot.
Yep, there was one. As I stepped up, Deshaun was running a deep cross, and just couldn't see the nickel linebacker. And I'm not going to throw a ball blind. Go back to the sideline, like, gosh dang, there was one. But besides that, they were trying to stay on top as best they could. You know what I mean? There was times where I was just trying to throw a go ball or just trying to. And there's two guys behind our guy, and so it's definitely an emphasis for them, to stay on top. It's one thing to emphasize, it's one thing to do it. They did a good job for the most part.
Derek, for as well as the offense was playing when Greg started calling the plays, and then all of a sudden, for the last 5 losses, are you, as the quarterback leader of the team, are you content with how the play calling is going, or do you feel at this point that there needs to be a change?
To answer your real question, I love Ole, and he's doing a great job.
Derek, I know it's not an individual thing necessarily, but obviously Jack was on this other sideline, kind of that chess match that went back and forth. Was that something that excited you? And how do you think that played out a little bit in the game? Did he know anything maybe, or did you know anything about him going in?
I mean, it's been so long, since we've been on the same team and around each other. We know things about each other, for sure, but different teams, different players. I've grown. He's grown. There's things you learn along the way. That he's doing some things. He's obviously doing his stuff, but he does some things different sometimes too. So it wasn't like, I know all the calls or anything. He knew my. It wasn't like that. Going against his scheme sometime in the last half of that year. Or sometimes in practice. I knew certain things about it. But that's. Anyone who plays those coverages, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like we knew something about each other and it was going to be a chess match. Like every game in the NFL is a chess match between the decision maker and the defense coordinator, offense coordinator, vice versa. So, I talked to him afterwards. We had a good talk. Obviously, I wish it was better for me, but we just expressed our love for one another and how thankful we were for the times that we had. And he said some things to me about this year, and it was good. I love the man, and he'll always have a place in my heart for the years that we had together.
Sorry, man, that it missed me a mile. And I talked at the beginning of the show about leading with emotion, being kind to one another. But this is an NFL football team, and you had a guy taking a run at you that used to be your coach. That soft ass approach, I'm sorry, man. I'm not down. We're freaking Raiders, man. That should piss you off, Derek Carr. That should not be amicable. And Mosh, you may disagree, but I'm telling you, that's not what the Raiders are about, man. That runs 100% upstream to Al Davis's messaging. That should be a big FU from Derek Carr. I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't get it, and I think that's where the patience of Raider Nation starting to wear thin, is that this doesn't feel like he's in it like a Raider, what we interpret a Raider should be. What do you think? You came up with his stuff in a day. Like, this is, you were around.
Well, I think I'm not gonna speak for Derek Carr. Derek Carr speaks for himself. I'm sure there's people he doesn't like. They're calling him Boy Scout and blah 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 and all this stuff in the chat, but and on this, I'm sure on the social medias and everything. But Derek speaks for Derek. If he doesn't hate the guy, that's on him. That's his business. As of right now, he's our quarterback. But I'm sorry, I can't go back to the fact that there's a couple things that we missed a little bit. When Derek has those games where he throws, I don't remember what the number was, however many yards, those are the games that we win. He didn't do that.
Yeah, 300 or more yards, he's about undefeated.
And when we give up, there have been plenty of games where if we would have just given up only 17 points, we would have won, right? If we would have had an offense that could catch the ball, that we would have had a quarterback that could get the ball to them. There's a lot of ifs in this. You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And if there are people that Derek Carr doesn't like or hates or whatever he wants, however he wants to phrase it, and he has a case of the ass for, he takes issue with, that's on him. That's his business. But saying that Derek Carr should hate this guy, well, we don't know. All we know is exactly what you said. The guy took some runs at him. That was mean. That was uncalled for. But as a coach, was he doing that to fire his guys up? That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Oh, strategic, for sure.
100%. Does Derek recognize that? I don't know. Derek speaks for Derek. But that's what I'm saying, because I've done stuff like that.
Sure.
That's
the Raiders. That's what Madden used to do.
Right.
Like that's such a strategy. Al Davis would do it.
And if they had a relationship that was professional, I mean, in this business, people get fired. Everybody that's ever been fired by Al Davis, still almost everybody, 99.9% of them refer to him as Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They talk about the loyalty and the respect and the stuff like that. So did they have some bad issues? Yeah, they probably did. But is there that mutual? He said it. There's mutual respect for each other. So I can't take issue with the man saying that he doesn't hate this guy. No,
and I don't think I'm leading towards like, we want to have Derek go to the podium and be like. But you're saying
that's not the Raider way, though.
Well, it's not. And that when someone challenges you openly, that should bring a certain response in attitude, not, oh, shucks, he's a nice guy. Oh, we had some great years together. I'm just going to go out here and do my job and check the freaking ball down and get our asses whipped.
That's not what he said. You're being facetious
I am being facetious, but that's what we see. So, and that's the part that drives me nuts, is that one week you get Derek Carr going, Mr. Fired Up, first down, jumping over people, diving, kicking ass, firing the ball downfield, and then the next week it's,
But those are also seems to be the weeks when our defense is getting more sacks than we got, is getting interceptions, is not allowing those 17 points. And that's what I'm saying. It's a complete game. And right now, when we suck as a team. We all suck.
Yeah, but why is the inconsistency there, Jeff? That's what I don't get.
I don't know if we're all. Look, offense and defense, yes, we're all one team. We're all 53 and all that stuff. But I thought the defense came to play. Besides that awful miss-interception from Trayvon Merritt. That breaks your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think the defense played a fantastic game. But as far as that from Carr, I feel like we've just heard that so many times. And the tiptoe around the question and all that stuff, it's just weak, man. I don't like it. And I love Derek Carr. But, yes, I don't want to see him going, man, but I will say with Mosh, I don't want to see him go, yeah, I hate Jack Del Rio. I hate all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. No. But I want you to show me that you don't like him and didn't like what he said about you by doing that stuff that he did on Thanksgiving, where he's like, doing all this stuff, running and all that. Like, I want to see that. That's what
there has to be a reason to do that.
Well,
and
that's what
he didn't have it.
Well, but that's what Josh Jacobs was saying, is that why is it that we can't get up right away. Why do we have to wait for
a
play like that? That's the part, and that's where I think.
And if we could bottle that and sell it to them, we'd be billionaires.
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's just, you can look, it's frustrating. It's frustrating as a fan. Everyone's got their emotion around it. No one is wrong in the way you feel about it, because however your fandom manifests is how it goes. But for me, like, I just want to see some edge. Like, and whether it's Bisaccia or whoever else is our next head coach, we had a big discussion about it last night. We missed that edge. We missed that Gruden edge. I think want someone head coach wise, quarterback wise, whatever, that's got a little bit of case of the ass to them, that's got a little bit of red ass. That is kind of what the Raiders are, is that someone that's got a little bit red, someone that's a little pissed, someone that, like Rich Gannon, like, that's just a little angry. Like, you know what I mean?
Isn't that what we liked, though, when we liked when Gruden came in, who had all that edge, and they were going, oh, it's a perfect match.
Yes.
It's a perfect match. He's perfect with DC. And yes, and we all liked Bisaccia, and we were all high on him. We were all just hoping that he would be able to fill the shoes, but he might not have that grittiness to go and
we're about to hear that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's
we're about to hear that on the last soundbite that we're going to play in this segment.
Oh, let's hear it then.
Yeah, let's get. Well, I'm going to do one more. We'll skip the one Bisaccia. I am going to play Brian Baldinger though, because this is important. So Brian Baldinger, who is a great film analyst on Twitter, does Baldy's breakdowns. This is interesting, Mosh, because this is a guy, we featured these clips from him a lot.
Yeah, we love that guy.
He highly favorable to the Raiders and praises them a lot. Here's what you hear, and here's what a guy that's a pro at this and basically objective, no fan interest, although he is kind of the Raiders. Here's what he had to say about Derek and some of these plays.
This is 2nd and 1. The Raiders came up short. 15 points isn't enough. This is 2nd and 1 right here with Deshaun Jackson at the bottom. Remember the difference he made against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? Like, here he is. This is a touchdown. Like, you just can't check this ball down right here. Here's D-Jack on this deep cross. And they get exactly what you hope you can get. You got him on that line right there, just laid out there. He's going to score. He's going to score. I just don't think the Raiders were aggressive enough. Like, look at this protection that Carr has. Like, what's the rush to get the ball to Josh Jacobs? You completed all 9 passes to Josh. Like, all right, you want to try and get 6 and 7 yards? I mean, they got the first down. Maybe they were content with that. But at the end of the day, they didn't make enough plays. Like this 3rd down and 5. I don't even recognize it's Raider offense. This isn't Derek Carr. This isn't a Davis family-owned team. 3rd and 5, you're just going to throw this ball to Josh Jacobs. Like, you're basically saying, I don't know. Like, they're just not aggressive enough. I understand Darren Waller wasn't there. Maybe some calls went against you. But you're getting off the field without really trying to get aggressive. Great hit by Bobby McCain. I thought the Raiders had chances in the game. Real chances.
Here's what's interesting, Mosh, about those comments. So again, I mentioned this is a guy that spoke highly favorably of the Raiders in the past. Also, nicest guy in the league, one of them, former player, Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner, who doesn't criticize anybody, came out and said, Derek Carr is in it for completions, not wins. Wait, you have Kurt Warner coming at you. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, it's getting to a point where these conversations are highly fair and not as being a hater or anything, but it's just like trying to understand what's going on.
I love what Michelle said, and I think it's pertinent.
Okay.
Maybe Bisaccia didn't even want the job as a head coach. And if you sit and if you absolutely think about that, it's like, how was it approached to him? Were all the coordinators in a room? And Davis says, okay.
Who wants it?
Maybe not who wants it, because ideally wouldn't all coaches like to be head coaches, but some people that are coordinators, some people know that they're a better coordinator than they are a coach. And they recognize that.
North Turner, Josh McDaniels, Tom Cable. Yes,
there's people that are fantastic coordinators and assistant coaches, but they don't have that gumption for head coach. Maybe they drew straws. Maybe it went around the room. Bisaccia, you want it? Olsen, you want it? Rock, scissors, paper. Flip a coin. Honest to God, we don't know. We don't know.
Well, I think typically when a coach gets fired or let go mid-season,
it's awful.
It's terrible, but they give it to the guy that deals with the most amount of players
which
on
is
the
special
team,
teams.
which is your special teams guy. So most times you see that happen, but it's very possible, and you might see,
but
hearing some of the stuff that maybe he didn't want it.
If you have let me run this by you. If you have a team that's successful in one aspect of the game, let's say you have a team that's got a defense that's just plays balls to the walls all the time, and they're going nuts, and they're clockwork, and you know what I'm saying, their coach doesn't necessarily have to be in their butts all the time because they've got it. That's the guy you're going to want to send as the head coaching job, or you can go the other way. Okay, let's keep him on defense. Let's put the offensive guy up there. There's a million different scenarios, and we don't know. We don't. No, that's why I'm saying I kind of like what Michelle said. And there's been a few people in the chat that have commented on that because we don't know. I will agree with both of you. I don't think this has been a very good audition for Bisaccia for a head coaching job. I think he would probably at the end of the season, in the next after 5 more games, say, I kind of might think about going back.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if he stayed on.
Yeah,
like as the Raiders hire their new head coach.
Sure.
If Rich, look, he's one of the most highly respected guys in the league.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
He's probably the reason why number 57, Will Compton, is back in silver and black.
Well, I was just going to lead into
that's
that,
why
that
he's
question
there.
with
He
you.
speaks so highly of Bisaccia, and so
And
so Denzel Perryman goes down, and so they call up, hey, Will.
Call the boy.
Come on out, man. We also need a little locker room support right now.
That's where I was going with that. That's because that could tie into exactly what Josh Jacobs was talking about.
Yep.
We need that fire.
Yep.
And we all know that Compton doesn't have to be in a starting position on the defense to light a fire under 53 asses out there.
Yeah, he's a little dopey, but he can rile up a locker room.
And he won't call anybody back, but that's not and he forgets my name.
Murph, Swag, Jeff, and who's the third guy?
But that's not the point. The point is that maybe they're going, what Josh said was right. We need, and who can we get? Who's available? Who can be that spark? And it's our boy Compton.
100%. I think that's a great call out there, Mosh, and I think that is dead on. That's what Will does. Like, Will's a great football player. I'm not taking away anything from his playing ability on the field. But at this stage of his career, at his age, all that kind of stuff, like, they're not bringing him in to be like he was the last time he was with the Raiders, where he's wearing the green dot and calling the defense.
Right.
He's the glue guy. Yeah. And it's like, that's the guy that if you're trying to fire a locker room and change the culture of the organization of what's going on the inside out, that's the kind of guy you bring in.
I'm sorry, Jeff, I didn't interrupt you. But when you take Bisaccia out of special teams and you put him as the head coach who's in charge of everybody, and you bring Comp in, who has experience on special teams, who's probably going to end up coaching in the NFL somewhere, who better to be that possibly green dot guy on special teams than Will Compton?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Crap, I forgot where I was going.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you're thinking about it,
I do want to touch on one thing, because we've been talking about Bisaccia, and we didn't talk much about the Baldy thing.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So there was one play, and it may have been the play that he was talking about. It was towards the end of the game. Derek Carr checked down with this lob pass, and we lost like 6 yards on the play.
Oh, yeah.
You remember a couple years ago when we bitched and complained and moaned about how all Derek Carr does on 3rd and 14 is throw it in the dirt?
Yeah.
That would have been a good time for him to throw it in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, so, because instead the clock keeps running. We're running out of time. We lose 6 yards. Josh Jacobs gets blown up in the backfield. The play calling is an issue, but Derek Carr needs to be just a little bit better with his decision making as far as that goes, because you're going to toss it up and lob it up 10 yards in the air and have Josh Jacobs catch it and get blown up, or do you just toss it down or throw it away or, whatever you want to do. It's,
Well, and live to fight another play is a very real thing. And and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that where the challenge is visually as a fan watching it is that you see that at times when we should have a sense of urgency, we're still doing that. And it's like at some point when it's 3rd and 5 and you throw it behind the line of scrimmage, like, what the hell are we doing? Like, because the protection's good. It's not like he's getting, rushed out of the pocket or anything. It's just an automatic go-to. And that's where you see other teams that at times we've played, we're literally double teaming the check down. Like, if that doesn't tell you what's going on, I mean, it's crazy. All right, before we get, I love the ramble. I love the freaking conversation. I love the passion tonight, guys. You guys are killing it. I do want to call out and give a lot of respect to the chat room, though. Tyrone Graves is in there with a $5 donation, down by 2 in the red zone. 3 to 4 minutes left. We got to stop running out the clock and take shots at the end zone. We still had room to get a first down. That's exactly what we're talking about. Appreciate that comment. Cool Kev 75. Same thing. Another $5 donation. Too late to start calling people out, Josh Jacobs. Running backs coach Kirby ran away like Bo Jackson from the team before the season started. Interesting there, man. Yeah, but I think that it's fair, at least that Josh is doing it. Yes, you would like to see maybe it happen a little while ago, but they also were dealing with some unprecedented, tragedies and things in there too. So I don't want to totally pick on him about that. Our buddy Frankie Mosqueda with a donation there, $2. I wish DC had the fire of Phillip Rivers. Gosh, golly darn right. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stand Phillip Rivers, but that kind of passion, game in, game out, I think is what we're definitely missing. All right, let's get to this last audio bite here on the Washington game. This is interesting because I know where Swag's going to go with this. So I'm going to play this sound bite, and then I'm going to throw it to you, Jeff. But I think we actually might have a different take on some of these comments. Let's check in with Coach talking about not fixing on the scoreboard.
Season of highs and lows so far. I know you guys have said your process stays the same regardless of if you win or lose, and it seems like the guys' mood has stayed the same. But why do you think it doesn't translate to games all the time when it comes to getting consistent results?
You want to talk about highs and lows of a season. I mean, the highs have been pretty good and the lows have been really low. Humanistically, the lows have been really low, and then professionally on the grass, the lows have been low. But again, if you're results oriented all the time, then you're just looking at the scoreboard, you're spending your life up there. So there's a process to what we try to do. There's a process to improving every day. So again, we lost the game. We have to come back tomorrow, figure out some of the reasons why, and then get ourselves ready for Wednesday practice, see if we can correct those mistakes and get ready to go play Kansas City.
I hate that.
This one chapped your ass.
This one chapped my ass quite a bit, because these are the guys. This comment reminds me of all the people that say Derek Carr leads every statistical category as a Raider. He's the greatest Raider quarterback of all time. We live looking up at the scoreboard because that's what freaking matters at the end of the day. Just win, baby. That's what we want. So, of course, we want to look at the scoreboard. Of course, we want the Raiders' number to be higher than the other team's number. Why would you not? That's the dumbest thing that I have ever heard. I hate that.
Okay. But I appreciate the passion, and I think that you make a very valid point. I'm going to lobby this, though, at you, too. Okay? I've only ever coached youth sports in my life. I've only ever played low levels of high school and college football. Okay? But here's
Versace can go coach his kid.
Here's and here's why I'm going to throw it to Mosh. I'm going to make my point, and then I want to throw it to him for clarification because I think that he'll have a unique perspective on it. What's interesting about that comment is that one of the things that we used to tell our kids all the time is you don't worry about the scoreboard. You worry about your job. That's the freaking people hate it when I bring up the Patriots, but what's their motto? Do your job. Do your job accurately. Do your job mechanically. Do your job the way that you've been instructed and coached to do so. If you do all those things correctly, the scoreboard takes care of itself. If you're in the correct position, if you execute your passes and your blocks and your tackling, all those things, if you handle that stuff, then the scoreboard will be fine because we will be successful in marching the ball down the field, putting it in the end zone and scoring points.
Sure.
Now, where the other side of the coin, where I think your point is valid, is that at some point, you do have to have a sense of urgency because when you look up at that scoreboard and you're down by 2 and you're running out of time and downs, You have to adjust what you're doing on the field. You can't just, I just need a completion here. No, you need to score. You need to do something aggressive. So I think both things can be true. So I want to defend Coach a little bit there, because I think in the terms that he's speaking about is that, look, if we just worry about the scoreboard all the time, we're never going to win. What we need to do is focus on what our jobs are, do them effectively, and then the points will come as a result. Mosh, what is your take on Coach's comments there?
Well, I think Coach wishes he had that back.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
I would, and I'll tell you why. I actually agree with Jeff on that. It was a really dumb thing to say,
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because when you and I coached, and you and I coached together for a long time, and our job as coaches was to teach fundamentals, was to teach kids to develop a passion for the game, and was to teach them that you can win or you can lose honorably and win with respect. And we always, from wrestling, when our boys would lose and or win, we always sent them over to shake hands after they shook hands with their opponent, with the opposing coach. And that was part of what we were building. Now, to Jeff's point, at this level, that should be instilled. That should be taught.
I got you.
That should be learned. And to say that the score doesn't matter at this point it was a little bit of an asinine thing to say.
Okay.
I think he misspoke. He's saying exactly what you were saying. Do your job. Know what your box is. When you do what's in your box, everything comes together, and the scoreboard will take care of itself. But we can't lose sight of the scoreboard. So both of you have good points, but I really do think that what Coach said was about stupid.
Okay.
I agree, Jeff.
Totally agree.
And I don't think his sentiment was quite off. I think but the way it was presented was off. I think him saying, the scoreboard doesn't matter. Well, I'm sorry, buddy, because we're on the lower end of the scoreboard all the time. Last week, the school that I taught at won their second state championship. And the picture that was on the Facebook page was a picture of the scoreboard. Sorry.
You know who looked at the scoreboard? Al Davis.
Well,
just win, baby. That's why he brought the best people into the game that put the team in the best position to have the scoreboard look the way that it did back in 76, back in 80, back in 83. That's why he built championship teams, because he put the best people in the positions to win the game.
Hang on.
I don't know if that's happening for the 2021 Raiders. You got to put the people in the position to win the game, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. They're getting paid millions of dollars. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Preparation and knowledge is going to transmit to good performance.
Yes.
on excuse me, on the field. And that's what we're not having. We're not having execution.
No.
There's no doubt in my mind that they prepared for the Washington team, but the preparation wasn't good enough for their performance on the field. And that's where we were lacking all the way across. And, Swaggy's right on that.
Good stuff, guys.
Come on, man.
There you have it.
All right.
Come on, man.
Jeez.
Just
Okay,
win.
well,
I just want to win,
This
damn
guy's
it.
a winner.
Yeah, he is.
Hi, this is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders, and you're listening to Murph, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders
One of the best
Fan
players
Radio.
on the team right
Just
now.
win, baby.
Absolutely. And he's a badass.
Yeah.
Thumbs or no thumbs?
This is Trent Sig, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Murph, Swag Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Just win, baby.
All right, we're starting to run a little bit long here. We've got to get into
Hurry up.
We've got to get into the Sea of Fans mailbag. So I'm going to save. I've got a Raiders and Pop Culture from Hunter S. Thompson, which is really interesting. But we're gonna save that for next week.
Oh,
I know, but we're otherwise we'll be here for 2.5 hours. So
phenomenal author.
So tune back in for that next week. I'll have that Raiders and pop culture for you. So let's jump in. Let's talk about this Chiefs game. Okay. Look, if we win in Arrowhead, we're 7-6. We're back in the playoff discussion. I know it's crazy. But look at the last. We named this episode on Swag. Came up with a great episode title there because, of course, talking about warming up the bus because of Will Compton. But also, if you remember the last time we played the Chiefs in Arrowhead, we lopped that stadium because we beat those suckers in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are undoubtedly one of the best teams in the NFL. They're also the team we have to get past in our division. If we win this game, I'm not going to say that it's completely restored, but it comes back in a big way. It gives us an opportunity to continue the conversation about the Raiders. Because, like Mosh said at the very beginning of the year, he felt the Raiders were a 10-7 football team, and then that would be good enough to make the playoffs. That's still a real thing. In the AFC, as competitive as it is, 9-8 could be a playoff spot. If we can beat the Chiefs, beat the Colts, and the Browns. We're talking about having tiebreakers against the other teams that we would be competing with for those playoff spots. There really still is hope. And I'm not offering that up as blind hope or trying to sell you a thing. But until we're ultimately mathematically eliminated, there's a shot. There's a chance. Like Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah. And if we beat the freaking Chiefs in Arrowhead and show that we're capable of doing that, then we can beat anybody. So here's what the Raiders need to do. I'm going to give you a couple talking points. I'm going to throw it to the guys. We have got to handle business against the pass. The Chiefs have picked on Jonathan Abram in coverage for the last 2 years. Now, look, it's no mystery that Jonathan Abram has at times been a liability in coverage. But listen to some of these numbers. According to Pro Football Focus, the Chiefs targeted Abram in coverage 9 times in their Week 10 matchup. On those throws, Mahomes was 9 for 9 for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. We can't do that. Now, whatever that is you need to do to adjust, Gus Bradley, I don't know. Don't play that cover 2 or cover 3, excuse me. Whatever that is that you need to do different, do something different. Don't do the same shit that you did last time because you got your ass kicked.
Yes.
And speaking of Mahomes, now, like we always talk about with Derek, what do the Raiders need to do to win? Well, Derek has to play well. What do you need to do to beat the Chiefs? No shit. What do you got to do to beat the Chiefs? You got to shut down Patrick Mahomes. But here's why that's such a salient point. Patrick Mahomes during the Chiefs' 5-game winning streak, okay, versus the Raiders, because he's won 5 in a row against the Raiders. He has completed 70% of his passes at 8 yards per attempt. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 127 quarterback rating. In the other 4 games, he's got a 57 complete. The other 4 games, he's got a 57% completion percentage at 6 yards per attempt, 2 touches, 3 picks, and a 70 rating. Point being, though, is that when Patrick Mahomes beats the Raiders during his 5-game streak, he's killing us. He's the reason, extending plays, throwing the thing down deep to Kelsey or Tyreek Hill or whatever else. We've got to stop him. And how do we stop him? It's Ngakoue. It's Max Crosby. Those are the things we need to do, Jeff, right? Talk about what defensively what we need to do.
He hasn't beat us 5 times in a row.
No, but he had a 5-game win. He's got a 5-game winning streak.
Sure.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So what they need to do with Jonathan Abram is exactly what they did in the Washington game. He wasn't in coverage that often. He was blowing up plays in the backfield. That penalty in the Washington game was ridiculous because that was an incredible play by Jonathan Abram.
That really was.
An incredible play.
Yeah.
So that's how you utilize Jonathan Abram. That's why Jonathan Abram, when we all drafted him, said, wow, this is a great Raider. He could be the next Jack Tatum. He takes heads off. He does all this stuff. Then use him that way. Bring him down and kind of be more of a hybrid safety linebacker role. That's where he succeeds. He does not succeed in coverage. And you learned that in Week 10. So don't make the same mistake again. Gus Bradley. So, and where is Trayvon Mullen? Is he out for the year? What?
No, I think he should be back this week.
That would be fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Because
right?
the other person that got picked apart in that game in week 10 was stupid 35 Facion or whatever. Facion or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
We were high on him for a minute.
Sure was,
for about 20 seconds until he got burned for 2 touchdowns in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's been getting burned ever since. So let's get that guy to be more of a depth guy.
So you got Mullen and Hayward, Hobbs covering the slot.
Yes.
Like that's what we really need to set up.
That's what you want. So yeah, I don't know.
Mosh, you got any things you want to look for in the game? What you want to see out of the Raiders? Like keys to victory, man. I've been negative a lot tonight. Let's shift the narrative a little bit here and let's try to find something positive we can do.
I think Swaggy's on to something there. I think that if our okay, we got to go back to the last time we played the Chiefs. Okay, it was Thanksgiving Day. Okay, we were all here. We were watching the game, and we're saying,
"Oh, our Italian Thanksgiving."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
I was like, wait, we played the Cowboys.
Yeah. No. I meant our Italian Thanksgiving.
Yes,
our thing.
Yes, sir.
So what we witnessed was a mediocre team, the Chiefs, come in and have the best game of the season. And we witnessed a good team, our team, the Las Vegas Raiders, come in and have arguably one of the worst games of the season.
Great point.
Yes.
And when both of those teams collided on that Sunday, it was 100% a Chief victory, and there was we were never close. We were never in the hunt, ready to go. Yeah, we got this. It was never there. Okay, so we have to be able to find out. And again, I'm sure that there's people making a whole lot more money analyzing this stuff for a living, 18 hours a day or more, trying to figure out what they're going to do to get that Chief. So what if it were me, the casual observer, I would say, number one, we got to have our defense. We got to go back to 2 years ago on the victory lap game when we didn't let Patrick do anything.
No,
he
shut
didn't
him down.
have
You're
he
right.
didn't have those 3rd and 13s and throw for 25.
Yes.
He didn't
Jonathan
have that
Abram intercepted
because
him.
we had that spy who was lurking around and disrupting everything Patrick had.
Was that Kwiatkowski? I think it was Kwiatkowski was in that.
I don't remember who it was, but I'm just saying.
Who was it? It was but great point. Yeah.
And so at that time, our offense wasn't great 2 years ago. It was mediocre at best. But a mediocre offense can score. Our mediocre offense scored 15 last Sunday, 4 days ago. Okay? If we can hold them to if we would have been able to hold Washington to under 15, we would have won. You know? So the secret is going to be our defense. It's got to be our defense. It's got to be. You have to be able to shut down Patrick in Patrick land.
That's it.
And I agree with that, but the offense needs to play too. Remember when we beat them last year, the score was 40-32.
Correct.
We need the offense to come play. You know, yes, we do need the defense to do it, but I would like to see, we hate the Chiefs more than anybody. They're our biggest rival. They're our biggest rival. We hate them more than anybody, and we saw which team wanted it more in Week 10.
That's true. I
we
think
saw
that's a good
that.
point. Yep.
There's no reason for us to come out flat against the Chiefs ever.
No,
and we did have one spark of hope when the game was close. That pass to Deshaun Jackson, and then he fumbled the ball. So our hope lasted about 3.5 seconds, where we all went, "Yeah, no," you know what I mean. So, but
our hope lasted for one football move.
Exactly. But what I will say is the offense needs to come out, play so much better, and there is one person on the team that does have a recipe for beating Kansas City.
Oh, geez, here he goes. Throwing himself touchdown passes and
he's 2-0.
What is that? What's for our people that are listening on the podcast? What is it? What are you holding up?
It's a picture of Marcus Mariota for his Motivate Foundation. Says thank you for your purchase. Because Swag Jeff might have supported the Mariota Foundation
while you were supporting local distilleries here, correct?
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I don't know how local they were. I just grabbed a bottle from the liquor store.
Well, if it's Jack Daniels, it's local as heck.
Absolutely it is.
All right, man. Those are great points, guys. Yeah, and I'm with you. And you know, and to serve your point, Jeff, Derek Carr throws for 300 yards. The Raiders score 20 points. We're just about undefeated. So to Mosh's point, let's play some defense.
But yeah,
Derek Carr have a day, and the numbers serve us like it fits.
What a freaking concept. What a concept. When your quarterback throws for 300 yards and plays a great game, we win. No shit. Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. That's the recipe for success for the NFL.
Well,
but don't look at the scoreboard.
But don't look at the damn
scoreboard.
Yeah, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Mosh, hit us with a break here. We got an ad read for you, and then we'll get into the Sea of Fans mailbag. That was awesome.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
What's up,
with
Wolf?
my boys Murph, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast.
Banger podcast.
All right, Raider Nation, check this out. It's not every day you can double your money, but with MyBookie, you double your money instantly thanks to their double deposit bonus for all new users. With MyBookie's double deposit bonus, when you sign up at mybookie.ag and use promo code MURPH, that's M-U-R-F, you'll instantly receive double your initial deposit so you can kickstart your betting experience with all the best games, leagues, and casino options to choose from. The Patriots are taking on the Bills Monday night as they continue their quest to reclaim well, that was this last Monday night. As they continue their quest to reclaim the AFC title, Buffalo has looked like a legit Super Bowl contender. However, look for them to cover the spread. Did they? I think they did. They must have, because that game was like, what, 9-6 or something? Or like whatever. Mac Jones, 3 passes the whole game. Craziness. Set yourself up for success by doubling your first deposit when using promo code MURPH. That's M-U-R-F at MyBookie. That's promo code MURPH, M-U-R-F, to double your initial deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
I like that. That was nice.
Thanks, Mosh.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murph and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
Fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied. He throws. It is. He caught
it. I know we don't give free shout outs and all that stuff. What the crap are you drinking?
Oh,
what is that?
I'm feeling seltzy, Mosh.
What the heck is that?
Feeling seltzy.
No, hey, show the other flavor. It's a preview of who's going to start a quarterback.
Sip back and
relax. What is it, pineapple?
No. What flavor is it?
It's Hawaiian shaped.
Hell yeah, it is. You're damn right it is.
I like these things. Yeah. Don't judge.
I'm not judging.
Don't judge me, chat room. I know. I heard them come. Look, I drank 8,000 Modelo's at the Raider game. I'm allowed to have a seltzer and try to melt some of this stuff
cleansing his system with a seltzer.
I got to tell a story on you, Murph.
Oh, no.
So every time you go to Vegas and me and Jeff don't get an invite.
Most times.
Oh, okay, Sonny, I'm sorry. You don't have a standing invite?
Well, yeah, but which is most of the time.
Yeah.
But we call each other, right? And we go, have you heard from him? Yeah, I heard last night. How bad was it? Oh, and so we compare notes, right?
Oh, no.
So I go,
absolutely.
I called Jeff, or he calls me. I don't remember what it was. Did you hear from him? Yeah. How's he doing? Well, has he called you yet? He might need money. And I go, so, one of the things that he always says is, yeah, I love it, man, that I can have like 87 gin and tonics for free. And I said to Jeff, I go, so what's new with him? And he goes, oh, man, he lost his wallet. What?
No, I lost my phone.
He lost his phone. It's got his ID and his. And I go, oh, okay, that's funny because the last time he was there, he lost his bag. Oh, yeah, he did. That's right.
I didn't hear that story either until this week.
I had to I think it's, kind of, sort
Kind
of.
of, sort of. It was unexpectedly taken from us.
Right,
Yeah.
but because you left it where you shouldn't have. But anyway, the point was, I said to Swag, I go, maybe he ought to drop that 87 free gin and tonics down to about 20.
Absolutely. Well, and so
but I'm operating in the red.
Murph gets to Vegas on Saturday, and so I text him Sunday morning. I go, man, how did it go last night? And he goes, I didn't hit on anything. It was awful. It was awful. The only thing I won on was I bet $100 on the Alabama game.
Yeah,
and I
man,
won a little
Alabama
bit.
came
He goes,
through.
I got so mad that I actually went to bed early. And
2 times before that.
Yeah, but I had texted him that afternoon, and I said, remember, you can walk away from a table with money. Yeah, it's not a requirement that you have to walk away with nothing.
You don't have to have 87 gin and tonics.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Don't say yeah.
No,
you
he
don't.
can have as many as he wants, but if he's got $2,000 of chips, you can walk away.
But I never had $2,000 of
Oh,
chips.
yes, you do.
Oh, yes, you
Oh,
did.
well, that's a
You're
different
full of
trip.
shit.
No, I'm talking about this last trip.
No, okay, so you're
I just got
not this
I got
trip.
beat up the whole time.
The trip where you had the $2,000 in your hand,
Yeah.
and he comes down to tell you, hey, Murph, it's time for bed, and you go, why? It's only 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, I woke up, the sun's starting to come up, and I start freaking out because my best friend's not in the room.
And then
I thought he got mugged.
He called me.
Have
he
you heard
called
from
me
him?
that morning. He called me at 7 o'clock, and I go, what are you doing? It's like 5:30, 5 o'clock your time. And he goes, yeah, I just left Murph. What do you mean you just left him? Where did you leave him? Well, he wouldn't come back. And then the next time, this is like Murph intervention.
I'm
Murph
telling you,
Vegas
geez,
intervention.
gosh, I'm feeling a little judged
The
over here.
next time I call you and I go, Murph, how are you? How's it going?
Yeah.
Uncle Mosh, I'm getting beat up a little bit on tennis.
Yeah,
How was the show last night? I don't know. I slept through it.
I fell asleep.
I got 87 gin and tonics when I got off the plane.
I got so mad at gambling, I went and saw a Cirque du Soleil show and fell asleep within 20 minutes.
This is the second Cirque du Soleil show you've slept through.
No, that's not true.
You completely missed another performance.
Which one?
The very first one, when you went and saw Love.
No, I didn't miss that.
You did. You had to
slept
get
through it, and
you
they
slept through
comped
it.
you
had
another ticket.
You had to get tickets.
Oh. Yeah, but not at the show. I slept through it in the room. I took a nap and I slept
you
for like 3
laid down
hours.
for a nap and you slept for 7.5 hours.
Yeah. But that's different.
Because that wasn't gin and tonic induced either.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was pasta induced because I don't even eat carbs. And I went down to Italy and ate 9 pounds of pasta and fell asleep. All right, See a Fans mailbag. You can contact us. Jeez, guys. You can contact us a multitude of ways. And you can do that by emailing the show at RaidersFanRadio.com. Or you can call us at 909-345-3346. And if we feature your voicemail, Michelle Sweat says, turn into a Murph roast. Yeah, no shit, man. On my ass. Gosh, 48 years old, man. I can do what the hell I want to do.
Hey, if that's okay with you, buddy.
If that's how you can put your head down at night and feel comfortable.
I'm just disappointed. I'm not.
All right, so you can if you leave a message and we play your message on the show 3 or more times, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman, or if you email us an indefinite amount of times, and you can become a made man or a made woman that way. And we've got 3 great emails to get to tonight. Uncle Mosh always reads those. Uncle Mosh, who do we have tonight?
Dear Murph, Mosh, Swag, Jeff, and the nation, welcome to the Bipolar Raiders. True. I love that. Bipolar Raiders. That's what we need to reluctantly admit to ourselves, and I think after last Sunday that most of us have. The highs have been on a similar level to Tommy Chong in 1979, and the lows have cratered to, well, Bon Scott in February of 1980. I keep trying to wrap my brain around why this team can't ever break out of their funk, and after 20 years start to show some consistency. Everybody's got a theory and a hot take or a valid argument, all of them ranging from it's Derek Carr to it's the play calling to the O-line sucks to it's Mark Davis's haircut to Roger Goodell is the spawn of Satan himself who holds a nightly seance to cast out spells against the Raiders and hypnotize the refs to make crucial calls against the Raiders. Valid. As all of these assessments sound, none of it matters. The only thing that should matter is that Al built this team around just win, baby. So imagine my utter shock when the interim head coach talks about not being results-oriented all the time and not just looking at the scoreboard. So those words are just going to roll off of the nation without response? Yeah, right. Like acid off a duck's ass. Is that how the team is playing? Does Bisaccia have any clue about who the icon of this team is and what his motto was? Embarrassing. You are in the ultimate, quotes, results-based profession. You just sealed your fate, baby, and will have your walking papers in hand come Black Monday. Back to the team. The fact is, the team has embarrassed Al's mission statement for the last 20 seasons. I've loved this team through several decades, but find myself bewildered and confused like the rest of the nation. How is it that this has gone on for so long? Why can't this team ever get past the rebuilding phase? Looking around the leagues, teams rebuild all the time in just a few years. The Santa Clara 49ers have rebuilt their team 3 times in the last 20 years and made multiple playoff appearances and a Super Bowl. The Chargers have rebuilt multiple times and made the playoffs several times. To top it all off, the Patriots took a whooping total of 1 year to rebuild and are now starting off at the number 1 seed again. At this rate, I fully expect Jacksonville and Houston to rebuild and make the playoffs again before our beloved silver and black. So here we are again with the offseason talk starting up and a mediocre record after a fast start. And we listen to our Raiders podcasts and our Raider Nation radio and blah, blah, blah to strive to figure out what the hell's going on while the brain cells just melt in our heads. I finally had an epiphany last night. We, as Raider Nation, are stuck in an actual reoccurring time loop. The evidence is undeniable. While other teams and fan bases actually move forward, make progress, and have winning seasons, we get to a certain mediocre point, and the reset kicks in, and we relive it over and over and over and over again. Groundhog Day? Negative! This is Live, Die, Repeat, the movie where Tom Cruise is in a war with aliens and keeps reliving the same day over, and it resets every time he gets killed. Each death more brutal than the last. He gets shot, bombed, crushed, blown up by a grenade, and in one particularly cruel instance, gets run over by a Jeep from his own outfit because he mistimes a body roll. I compare the Raiders to this because every year we say, this can't possibly get any worse. Or this is the year that we will. That we will what? We really will show us if Derek Carr is really the guy? That every year the surprises and the death blows get more brutal than the last? Derek breaks his leg on Christmas Eve? The team implodes from whatever happened during the kneeling scandal? Gruden trades Khalil Mack? The Dolphins score when left with only 19 seconds and an entire field to go? We left 2020 thinking nothing worse could happen. Wrong, Raider Nation! Gruden gets whacked by his emails, the Ruggs tragedy. What does 2020 hold for us? Don't go in expecting, I think he meant 2021, don't go in expecting that it won't get worse. I'm fully preparing to witness a 7.0 earthquake to hit Vegas during training camp. It will send the Death Star crumbling into a mile-wide crevice, and the Raiders will have to play all their games on the road. On second thought, maybe that might not be so bad. As you may have ascertained, I'm full of venom and vitriol right now and furious that all hope has been lost after the debacle of last Sunday. But hey, we're only a game back. Maybe, just maybe. Sincerely, JJ Raider 26.
Nice job, JJ Raider. Awesome job, man.
Solid, JJ.
Well crafted, my friend. Murph, Mosh, Swaggy, Q-Dog, Nation, here we go again. Another year, another set of excuses, and another 2-6 record after a great start. I've been a Raider fan since 1986, but only started watching them in 1988 and 89. I've seen many great moments, many bad seasons, and a lot of heartache in many years watching. Forgive my tirade, but I have some stuff to say. First of all, no more recycled coaches, please. Gruden, Greg Olson, and Shell all previously coached before. Who's next? Mike White or Joe Bugle? I say a new direction is needed. A good coach who would be a good developer of players, understands how to get the most out of his players, does not make excuses, and holds people accountable. I say Jim Harbaugh sounds good to me. No more excuses. Every Sunday after the game, I watch what I call the excuse post-game press conference, as that is all I have heard the last 4 years, and Carr has been our QB1 for 8 years. The past 5 years, I have heard all kinds of excuses. First of all, I am not a Carr hater. I will cheer for DC4 until 2022, as I do not think he will be there anymore after that. This year, people are saying that he has no weapons, but he's like second in the league in passing yards. I mean, come on already. If he is second in passing yards, then clearly he has weapons. Just because those jerseys say Waller or Renfro does not mean they are not highly skilled positions players. He's talking about the other people. The only valid excuses Carr has had in the last 5 seasons were last year. No defense, which was valid, and in 2017 when he broke his back. The rest of the time, he's been healthy, and last year's defense was bad and out of his control. Next, stop blaming a rookie safety for dropping the ball. I mean, really, forget we were 2 for 8 on third downs again for like the 6th time this year. To put this in context, Carr had 16 completions for 90 yards in the third quarter. He missed several open receivers and blah, 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 blah. Carr is Carr. He has limitations. That is why he has to have a good defense, good receivers, good running game, good play calling, and a good tight end. Just to be a 12-win QB based on the last 4 years worth of excuses. I would say with all those pre-qualifiers that Dalton, Tannehill, and Goff, again, he is that caliber and not of QBs like Rodgers or Mahomes, Wilson or Brady. Example, see Matt Stafford this year. People look at the number of points per game average and say the defense is garbage. I hate that stat, as points per game is misleading. I mean, what happened with Denver and Philly? We dominated them until the 4th, then called off the dogs, and they scored a few points. What about the Chargers, Chiefs, and Bengals? All close until it was over, and they ran up the score thereafter. The reasons I just gave is exactly why you cannot look at points per game average. I saw those teams punt, which means the defense was stopping them. Then our offense goes out 2-9 on third down and does not sustain drives. I don't know what else to say. People are tired of the second half collapses that have plagued us for 3 consecutive seasons. I believe that the collapse would have happened under Gruden, just like it's happening under Bisaccia. Talent can only get you so far. That is why coaching is also important. Olson was garbage the last time he was here and appears not to have learned anything in, 7 or 8 years? Also, to coaching, why is Parker still there at RT when we have Jermaine Alumunia, who started last year for the Patriots? I know. But his name is spelled Eluemunor. Alumunia. Tom Cable's another recycled person who should have made that change weeks ago. Anyway, I love the show as always. I watch each week and look forward to Wednesday's episode. Sorry for the length of this email. Stay safe and healthy. Jesse in Kentucky, a.k.a. the Refrigerator Raider.
Nice job, Jesse.
Nice.
How about my sleeper in the draft, Kuntz? Give him some love.
Oh, Malcolm Kuntz, man. Got his first sack, man. That was legit, dude. That was awesome.
Looking good.
Evening, everybody. I hope you're all feeling well and in top form, as once again it's falling on you guys to cheer us up and help us make sense of what's going on. Another disappointing game on Sunday, and the hopes we had for the season are now fading. Despite the equation saying we can still make the playoffs, the reality is we are too inconsistent to be a serious contender. I'm afraid I'd have to agree with that. I'd give anything for us to go 5-0 from here on in, but it's not going to happen. The defense played pretty well again, generally. But again, there are too many individual errors. 3 easy INTs and only 1 caught. And the one we needed to take, Trayvon, inexplicably dropped, which was a pick 6 and would have won the game. DC not looking downfield and missing wide open plays, and then Zay Jones drops a late catch that would have set up a winning field goal at least. Although clearly a flag should have been thrown on the play. But that's not why we lost the game. We lost the game because we had the same issues on offense that we had in 3 of the last 4 games. A stifled, unimaginative game plan that played more to the strengths of the opposition in the early stages. Why is that? Why is it that always feels as if we don't put on any wide receivers on the field until the third quarter? The defense did their best and kept us in the game, and we should have gone to overtime at least, but sadly not. All of which is very frustrating. We're not learning from mistakes that are made, and we're constantly beating ourselves and losing to poor teams. 2-2 against the NFC East? Come on, guys. Really? 6 defeats this season, and apart from the Chief and Bengals games, those other 4 should have been dealt with and had we been more efficient and been more creative on the sidelines? Ugh. The shining light as ever were Hunter Renfrow and Denzel Perryman. God bless Renfrow, but he really shouldn't be our leading receiver on the day. 9 for 102 is a great effort from him, but when Edwards, Jones, and Jackson are 7 for 65 combined, there's something wrong with that. The reluctance to throw the ball to D-Jax is mystifying. Shout out to R.J. Clifford at the Autumn Windbags if you're watching. I stole your Renfrow point, fella. I still don't believe we need a complete rebuild in preseason, though. We have some good players on the roster. They just lack proper leadership. I know we'll have plenty of time during the offseason to discuss this at length, but a head coach or an OC are imperative, and I'd like to see a president with a football background come in and, liaise with Mike Mayock. We need consistency throughout the organization, but we're not going to achieve it anytime soon if we tear the whole house down and start from scratch again. A couple of weeks ago, I laid blame for the 3 bad defeats firmly at the door of Bisaccia, Olsen, and Carr. I haven't changed my opinion on the DC situation, but the other 2 have left themselves wide open for criticism again after Sunday. Yet again, we've come up against garbage opposition and made them look better than they are. Granted, WFT have beaten better teams than us in recent weeks, and they've used excellent clock management in doing so. What was called for: set the tempo of the game, dominate the key areas of the field early, and start off aggressively. Instead, what we got was more negative, overcautious play calling, and that clearly clearly the offensive coordinator hasn't got a clue. As a result of his ineptitude, we can't control games. We lack the understanding of his own, and he goes on and on and on. Against the Cowboys, we allowed more freedom and expansive play, which suits us more. Yet Sunday against an also ran team with a poor man's third-string quarterback, he fell back into his negativity. He thinks he's better than he actually is and tries to be too clever. I have some advice for you, Mr. Olsen. It's not difficult. Use the excellent weapons at your disposal. Keep it simple and give the guys their best chance at winning games, you dipshit. Oh, and don't let the door smack you in the ass when they leave you in February.
Oh, ouch. Hot take.
Wow. On to Coach Bisaccia. Clearly a nice guy, as you can all testify at firsthand, but can somebody tell me what he does as a head coach during the week? I still don't get why, if he saw that game plan develop on the practice field, why sign it off as acceptable? I don't know what to tell you. Coach was then quoted after the game saying, if you're results-oriented all the time, then you're just looking at the scoreboard and spending your life up there. Hello? Last time I checked, fella, you're in a results business. What a statement to make. Did I hear it wrong? Meanwhile, DC thinks Olsen is doing a great job. So that's a head coach that doesn't believe in being results-driven, an offensive coordinator that's in a world of his own, and a quarterback who thinks the offensive coordinator is doing a good job. It's going well, fellas. And so we come to week 14 and we're off to the mental asylum that is KC. It goes without saying how much this inbred filth need to put in their place. Whatever has happened so far this season has gone. We have to look forward to a win on Sunday, and that would go a long way to make us feel better. Hopefully Greg Olsen will be in a better mood and we can attack these folks. We sure as hell won't beat them being passive. So let's get in their faces and ruin their weekend. Nobody will convince me that they are anything but a one-man team, and that freak of nature is Travis Kelce. They have one or two others that can hurt you on their day. A frog and a child beater, that kind of thing. But ultimately, if we stop Kelsey, we can win this game.
You're not wrong.
We need to assign somebody to follow him around all day, though. Wherever he goes, follow him and stop him. I don't care who it is, really. Abram, Hobbs, Maharing. Hell, it could be Alec Baldwin for all I care, but we have to stop him.
Oh, jeez.
I apologize for the negativity in this week's email. And if you have any questions relating to my comments, please send them to Greg Olson directly. It's all his fault. And he's my public enemy number one for this week. I don't mind admitting I'm fickle, though. And if we ball out in Missouri and rack up 500 yards of offense, I'll gladly eat some crow next week. Finally, we saw Dabo Swinney on the sidelines all decked out in silver and black on Sunday. Could it be the ultimate Clemson move? Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time plus one, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Hello?
Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi.
Paul.
I'm Paul.
Appreciate Paul, of course. Thank you not only, Paul, for the amazing email, but thank you again for the card, the Christmas card, man. We appreciate you and that donation to the One Nation Foundation. Speaking of donations, C. Robles in the chat offered up a $20 donation in there. We appreciate you.
Man.
100% of that money, guys, is going to the Raider. 100% of that money is going to the One Nation Foundation, and we appreciate you. You know what? I know we're running long tonight, but I'm just going to say this real fast. I'm not in on Dabo. I don't like the Dabo thing. Rah-rah coaches don't do well in the NFL.
Well,
unless you're Pete Carroll, I'm not a fan of that move.
Well, you know, I agree. And he's under contract for like a long time at Clemson. I think he signed to like 2028 or 2029 or something like that. And it's like a $10 million buyout or something like that. I don't know if it's worth it. Now, a guy to look at might be Jim Harbaugh.
That's the move. I think that's the move. If you're going to go to college.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's righted the ship at Michigan and all that stuff. And I mean, I could see that.
Absolutely. When he's got a track record in the NFL, man, he took the Niners to the freaking Super Bowl. I think it would be a great one. And, you know, Dabo, I think, is in town because Hunter Renfrow, Cleveland Farrell, Trayvon Mullen. That's why Dabo is there. And guess what? They're not playing in the playoff. Like, Clemson was terrible this year.
Oh, my gosh, they were awful.
Yeah. So anyways. All right, next up, let's get to the voicemails. We appreciate all the amazing emails. You can also contact the show via voicemail at 909-345-3346. We always feature your voicemails, and if we feature you 3 times, you become a made man or a made woman. And every crew needs a captain, and so the leader of the made men and the made women is Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, and we always start off with his call. So let's check in with our good friend, the Capo.
Greetings, Don Murph, Consigliere, Mosh, Underboss Sonny, or Sergeant Arms Assistant, Big Rated Trucker, Young Chili Dog from When the Universe Speaks, Ramon the Mean King, who made it back from Vegas safely, Swag Jeff, Ron the Mater Raider, Tyrone Graves, Nation, you know, respect to the veterans of World War II and to the men and women of the greatest fighting force the world has ever known, the United States Navy,
Salute.
in honor of Pearl Harbor Day. Welcome back, Will Compton. Now, moving forward, the Raiders have once again relegated themselves to mediocrity at 6-6, fallen to once again another marginal and beatable opponent in the Washington football team. So, to recap, a DC4-led offense has once again failed to outscore the Bears, Washington football team, and the Giants. Mental mistakes and not executing the game plans on both sides of the ball have contributed mightily to our losses. And losses that, you know, are unexcusable. Our offense can't consistently get rolling and keep rolling in football games. And our defense, well, hell, they can't close anybody out at the end of the games in the fourth quarter. A lot of us predicted 10-7 as a possible outcome for the season, and it's out there for the taking if we go 4-1 down the 5-game stretch. Now, Jamal Adams, he's out. He's gone. He's a safety for Seattle. he's done for the season. I say we push all our chips in the center of the table and unload Jonathan Abram immediately. You mean to tell me that the guy that pops gum up there on the sidelines, Mr. Carroll, wouldn't take a flyer on him? Make it happen. Now, I looked at Mario Cristobal, his presser for the U, and it's amazing how everybody can get their coach. We seem unable to do so. But when I saw him, that's what you call inspired leadership. And speaking of leadership, it's Jimmy V Week on the 4-Letter Network. And our team, I mean, every single one of the 53, and even the practice squad, needs to look at the perseverance displayed by the former V Foundation winners who lost their battles to cancer. They can start with Jimmy V, but honestly, they need to focus on Stuart Scott, his speech, the passion, the perseverance, the fight. Where the hell is it on our roster, the hit list? Logan Thomas, Jackson Mahomes, Michael Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, Jim Rome, Insurrectionists, and wait for it, DC4.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Good stuff there from the Capo, as always, each and every week. Appreciate you, Aaron. Appreciate you calling into the show and always kicking off this segment, my man. All right. Also, Franklin83 in the chat room with a $5 donation. Is it too late to bring back Madden? No. Man, it sure would be nice to. I mean, well, you know, coaches clearly not available, but man, it would be nice to get someone that emulated that. Also saw another comment in there about somebody that's a Parcells type, that Belichick comes from Parcells. Same thing with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Well, who knows what's going on there in New Orleans? That's the kind of guy that's got that edge, a little bit of a red ass to him. That's kind of the vibe that we're looking for.
Someone was in the chat asking if Peyton Manning or Kurt Warner ever expressed any interest in coaching.
Not that I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think those guys have too good TV gigs.
That's true.
Of course, we thought that about Gruden once upon a time, but Gruden was a coach first before he got the TV gig. But you know, dude, that Manning broadcast, like those guys are gonna they're legit. They're legit. All right, let's jump into the rest of these calls. So first off, caller in the 207 didn't leave your name, but a first time caller, and so appreciate you calling. Call us a couple more times, and you can be the next made man here at Raiders Fan Radio.
Much love, Just Swag. OG, my brother. Break it down. Murph Raider. Appreciate that. Let me get something for the holidays. Let me get the Derek Carr lining up on a slant, catching a touchdown pass from Mariota. Bet. Win, lose a tie. Raiders till I die. Shout out to OG Raider.
Oh my gosh, that dude's voice and laugh is killer.
Yeah, that was money.
Why don't we have him on our Halloween special?
I know, right? That was amazing. And he's asking, Jeff, for the holidays, a touchdown pass from Mariota to Derek Carr. You might, like, just your head would split open and you would just, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would be the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I mean? That's one for the highlight reel.
Absolutely. All right, it's good stuff there. We appreciate you calling the 207. All right, next up, I'm
so excited to hear this.
I know, me too.
I'm putting my thumb on the scale. Like, so we award a sizzler to the best caller or emailer of the night. And look, I don't have a vote in this thing. It all goes to Uncle Mosh and of course Swag Jeff. But when I was reviewing the calls this week and the emails, this might be my favorite one.
Guys, okay, I don't usually call, but I got to f***ing unload. What the f***? Like, what the f***? Like, what the actual f***? Watching this team is so f***ing exhausting. Games aren't even f***ing fun to watch anymore. Even the f***ing wins are hard to watch. They've literally sucked all the fun out of football. Watching them play just makes me f***ing anxious and gives me anxiety. Holy shit. I don't f***ing understand how you score 30 plus one game and then look like you've never seen a f***ing football field the next. Jack Del Rio too. How are you gonna let his bitch ass come into your house and leave with a f***ing win? I'm so f***ing irritated. And like a dumb bitch, I actually have f***ing hope for this team in a possible playoff run. Like a f***ing playoff run. I'm f***ing laughable after watching that. What? I'm a f***ing clown. I'm like a whole ass f***ing clown. Because every time I have hope. Like, anyway. I should have waited to call. I probably should have waited a couple days, but I love you, Raider Nation. Sorry, Murph. This one should be really fun to censor. See y'all in the chat. Shit.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I got the running total on that.
Okay, so that's of course our good friend Michelle Sweat, who's in the chat and gave $100
Yeah, she just
donation.
donated
just now.
$100 to the One Nation Foundation.
You
Said,
know why?
Murph, put this in the swear jar to cover my voicemail.
When you have 20 F words.
No, were they really?
Yeah. Oh, no. There's
$5 a pop?
There's her tally.
Oh,
so
my
she's got
gosh.
20 F words, 3 S words, 2 B words, 1 A word, and 4 compounds.
Oh my gosh, my favorite is when she goes, I'm such a clown. I'm a whole ass effing clown. That cracked me up. Michelle, you rule, man. Thank you so much for the donation and that call, man, when I heard it. And I wish I could play the raw version of it when we would get flagged.
Oh.
But like, it's hilarious.
Oh, my
Michelle, you
gosh.
freaking rock, man. You're the best.
And she paid her penance.
Yeah.
Kevin, are you paying attention?
Oh my gosh. That was the greatest voicemail of all time.
Oh my gosh,
Y'all
so
hit
funny,
the like
right?
button for Michelle,
do
please.
that, man, please.
And like a dumb bitch, I actually have f***ing hope for this team in a possible playoff run. Like a f***ing playoff run. Just f***ing laughable after watching that. What? I'm a f***ing clown. I'm like a whole ass f***ing clown.
That needs to go on the soundboard.
Oh, I'm telling you.
God, that is so damn funny. Oh my God, Big Raider
Big
Trucker,
Raider
hey,
Trucker
what's
in there
up,
said she's got my vote for the
Oh
Sizzler.
my gosh, so damn funny. All right, next up, let's hear from our good buddy, the Raider Critique.
Well, this is the Raider Critique, Murph, Mosh, Swag, Jeff. And here we are, once again, Mental Health Monday. This team is making me drink more alcohol than I've drank in the past 10 years. I don't even drink alcohol unless it's football season. And it's because of watching games like what we saw last night against the Washington Foreskins. Unreal. When is this team going to get it together? I'm going to do everything I can not to fall off the edge here. But I'll tell you what, mentally I'm not capable of dealing with this anymore. It's out to get us, and it's no excuse. We already know about how this works. But to be beat by Tyler Heineke, who could barely get it over 100 yards yesterday, this is unexcusable. This team needs to get it together. The offensive play calling by Greg Olson, like I've said before, is lackluster. I know you guys like Ollie, but I can't stand Ollie. He hasn't shown me anything since he's been here, even the first time with Derek Carr as a rookie.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Google Boy shut me down yesterday after Derek Carr shut me up, but he can't shut me up no more. No touchdowns says it all. This is the Raider Critique. I'm out. Guys, I've got it.
He called back.
I have figured it out. We are in an abusive relationship, and we don't know how to stop taking the beating. I wanted to continue this phone call because I didn't want Google Voice to shut me up. But it's true. It's basically like being in an 18-round fight with Mike Tyson while he toys with us round after round after round while we're taking nut shots left and right. The NFL hates us, and they're causing our mental anguish. And it's all through our beloved Raiders, and the Raiders have no answers for what they're giving to us. This team cannot play under pressure. This team cannot get it together. And I'm tired of being abused by this team. Mental Health Mondays have now turned into Mental Health Weekly. Mental Health Weekly, and they get our hopes up that they're going to change everything and make things right. But we're like a hamster on a hamster wheel, running through and getting nowhere. Rant over. Goodbye.
All right, good stuff there from our buddy Raider Critique, man. These calls are amazing tonight. Appreciate you calling in, and appreciate Uncle Mark or Uncle Mosh with the dip on the mic over there.
Sorry, guys. I don't do it when I'm reading because I spit tobacco all over the place. So I came back and I sat down.
Raider Critique got a little ASMR in the middle of.
Sorry, Raider Critique. And I sat down and I put a dip in and I was moving it all around. And I get the call. I get the Murph going. And I look over and Swaggy's going.
Yeah, because all we hear is.
I could, and of course, that's above my wavelength. I can't hear this.
Oh my gosh!
I don't hear that. I don't hear that.
You got nothing.
You don't hear that?
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. No, it's all good. We want to give context because people listen on the audio podcast. All they do is hearing us laughing and.
Right.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
It's like, Uncle Mosh is making out with the mic again.
All right, next up, let's check in with our good buddy, the Houstorian. He is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murph Mosh, Swag Jeff, Nation, Houston Raiders Steve. Hey, I was going to tell you, whenever I call my friends, I always say it's a great day to be a Raider. Well, you know what? I was a Raider since the height of game in 1968, 53 years. People often ask me, why are you a Raider? And I say, how come you're not? I probably wear the shield on my chest. I remember the games up in Kansas City, Denver, freezing, cold. Wearing thermals, how cold and miserable it was. I remember those days out in Oakland against the Kansas City Chiefs, pouring rain, the whole game, shivering, cold, hanging in there till the very end of the game. I'm a Raider. I remember those games up in over in Miami, hotter than hell out down there, up there sweating. You know what? Hanging in there. I'm a Raider. Whenever the whenever that tough gets going, we get going. I'm a Raider. Whenever we dig in our heels, we play. We go off the snap like Richie Incognito. We keep driving and pushing and holding our ground until the whistle. I'm a Raider. I'm going to be a Raider till I die. I love being a Raider. I'll never surrender. I'll never walk the plank. I will dig in my heels, and you know what? I'm going to fight to the very end because I'm damn proud to be a Raider.
Let's
I
go.
know you all are with me. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
I'm a Raider. Goodbye.
All right, good stuff there from our buddy Houston Raider Steve. So this was just sent to us from our good buddy Emiliano, the Big Raider trucker. So DC just got a 4-year extension.
Oh,
yeah, DC 2, Daniel Carlson for an extra 4 years. Yeah, Las Vegas and kicker agreed to a 4-year contract
Clutch,
extension. Let's
dude.
go.
That's
two more kicks, and he's got the record for Raiders.
Love it.
50-plus yard field goals
No way.
in a season, taking it from Janikowski. Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
How
good.
cool. And hey, Pineapple
Great
in the
job.
chat gave a salute to Michelle as well with a $20 donation.
Oh,
Nice,
thank you so much,
nice.
Pineapple. Right on, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, next up, let's go to our buddy Kiljadis. He's up there in Alaska, calls himself the northernmost Raider fan.
He was in earlier, right? And then he had to go do something. He had to go do some work or something.
Probably had to go talk to Macho Raider Savage. Or
I think
whatever.
so.
Yeah.
Wow. Outstanding. 15 points. 15 points. Are you kidding me? Is there no heart anymore? Is there no grit anymore? Forget Sad Sack Anonymous. It's anger management time. Well, then take a deep breath then. 1. There you go. 2. All right, that's more like it. 1 more loss. And that's it. It's over. Oh, come on now, Kiljadis. We still have I don't want to hear you say those crappy words of we still have a chance. Well, we still have a chance. Oh, God. A bump on the road is nothing to forebode. That's why it's the NFL. That's why it's football. A game can be spelled victory or defeat. The offense was trash. No run game again, and the O-line was filled with piles of 300-pound dog crap. No fire, no aggressiveness. It's like we're giving up. Now listen, Kiljadis, we still have a chance. We're just setting ourselves up for a more pivotal win. Yes, it was a disappointing performance. Yes, it was. The defense gave a gallant attempt and did wonderful. Macho Man, hey, yeah, let's just screw over five. Let's call for the refs, champ. Let's call it there. Guys to play. We could still sneak the playoffs. Come on, that's fun. Right. Macho Man Raider Savage, you started eating Slim Jims while you were talking. Well, yes. Stop talking when your mouth is full of meat. Pause. And hurry up and swallow. Pause again and say it again. I'm saying that there's no point in having a hissy fit over it. We'll win the next one and the rest because we are the best in the West and the beast will never be released. You seriously have a problem with Slim Jips. Are you eating because you're upset?
All right, there he is. Our good buddy Chico Jadis and Macho Raider Savage there. All right, appreciate you, buddy. Good call as always, man. I love the timing is on point. All right, next up we got two more to get to. Let's check in with the family. Let's check in with cousin Sonny.
Murph, it's your cousin Sonny. It's your cousin Somber Sonny. Hi, Uncle Mosh.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Swag.
Hi.
Shout out to the Made Men, led by none other than Aaron the Q Dog Raider, who rumor has it was defending DC in the Made Men chat this week. That's how twisted things are, Murph. Here's where I'm at. I'm done with DC. I like him for his faith. I like him for his character. He seems like a good dude, but I do not want him being the quarterback of my team no more. How in the mother blank do you not get up against the Washington Redskins if you're Derek Carr specifically? The Washington Redskins game years ago in D.C. was what caused the downfall of the 2017 season. And then the Redskins, the WFT, they're kind of the reason John Gruden's not there anymore. Well, Gruden did it, but you know what I'm saying, right? And then Del Rio is the defensive coordinator for the WFT. So if you're Derek Carr, let me back up. The defensive coordinator who was talking trash on your name earlier in the week, Derek Carr. And how do you not get up for that game if you're Derek Carr? How do you not get up for that game? A home game. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm done, bro. I'm done. Let him retire. Let him go to another place. I'm done. Thomas Brady has used being drafted in the 6th round for the last 70 years, and he's still dominating. Derek Carr can't get up for that game. I'm out, Murph. I'm all out on DC. I don't know what to do now. I'm going to go put on my jersey. I'm going to start doing push-ups.
Yeah, fair point, man. Whatever you got to use for your own personal bulletin board material. And I think that point that, like Tom Brady, use that as the chip on your shoulder. And when you could be the greatest quarterback of all time, but there's still that one thing to refer back to. And I think that's fair. All right, next up, let's go to out to the Canary Islands, hear from our good friend Rico out there. Last call tonight, so let's bring it down.
Oh, nice.
Drop the lights down a little bit.
Down.
If you got some aromatherapy, maybe some candles, whatever it is.
You want me to start
into.
the MSR?
Yeah, go for it, Mosh.
Gross.
Hey guys, it's Rico here. So not only you didn't have the guts of winning 4 straight games, but you didn't even have the balls of winning 2 game straights. You failed at the first attempt. Bad play calling, bad managing of the clock again. And listen, Mr. Bisaccia, if you say that you want to stretch the ball downfield and score more touchdowns, well, you can't spend an entire half passing the ball on the side and running the ball. You just can't do it. Anyway, a lot of missed opportunities by the offense over and over again. I'm saying the same exactly thing. The defense is giving through all the year a lot of chances to the offense for capitalize the game, and the offense can do it. And missed opportunities, open receiver missed, overthrown passes to the receivers. Here, who to blame is the quarterback. I told you last time, all these passing record stats are useless. And you know why they're useless? Because you can throw the ball for 80, 90 yards for every drive you play. That if you can't score a touchdown at the 10-yard lines, at the 20-yard lines, if you can't finish the job in the red zone, all those stats, you can take it and shove it up your ass. That's what you have to do. Derek Carr, we've been building around you for 8 years. In 8 years, we changed coaching staff. We changed general managers, receivers, offensive lines. We probably change every year a water boy, and we still got better chance to win a game with Bobby Boucher playing the quarterback position. You know, you've been in 8 years outshined by rookie quarterbacks at their first year. You've been outshined by nobody's quarterback. I mean, who the f*** is Taylor Haneke? Sorry, Murph. Who the f*** is Taylor Haneke? You got to tell me. Now, I don't know how many wake-up calls you need to get a grip, but I'm gonna put you to this level because you deserve it. You deserve it, because if you want to take us to a certain level, you have to be put at this level to understand where you stay. And listen to this. In his horrible career in between 2007 and 2009, Jamarcus Russell, the Walrus, he's been basically playing 2 years. In that 2 years, he won 2 games against the Muppets. Now, in your 8-year career, if I'm not wrong, you won 3 and you lost 12. Now,
ouch.
On Sunday, I don't care if it's snowing, if it's raining, if there's a storm, if you go the night before a wrong order at the restaurant, if you wake up with a pain in your left testicle, you go there and you had a good performance, you win the game, because otherwise, you will be remembered by myself like another bust. Jamarcus Russell, Derek Carr, what a waste of time. So go out there and win. Prove me wrong. Show me what you got. Now, with all this say, I love you all, never lose the faith, go Raiders, and I'm out. Let's beat the Muppets. The NFL as well. Can't touch any opponent anymore. It's flag football. I'm out.
Oh my gosh, Rico rules, man. So good. He's got the best takes, man. We love Rico. Appreciate you calling in. So the chat room's lighting up and asking about his accent. So Rico's Italian. He's a Raider-born Rico, but he was born in Italy and now lives in the Canary Islands. And we appreciate him and all the amazing calls tonight.
Holy crap.
What a great night here on Raiders Fan Radio. Uncle Mosh award the Sizzler Award. Who was the best of the best tonight?
Okay, so tonight, Capo, of course, kicked it off with another outstanding call, and then we got a new one. We got caller 207. We love his voice.
Great voice.
He says it was he channeled his inner Swaggy's dreams in his car catching a touchdown pass from Mariota. Followed by Michelle's Swearfest 2021.
That was so good.
With the multiple and the $100 paying for her swear jar. Raider critique, making him drink and is changing it from Mental Health Monday to Mental Health Weekly. And then we had a series of quotes that just killed me. Houston Raider Steve, I'm a Raider. And then he gave a whole bunch of scenarios, and they all ended with, I'm a Raider. Kill Jadis. We still have a chance, right? Through a mouth full of Slim Jims.
Well, yeah.
Sonny's take, pretty plain and simple. I'm out.
He's out.
I'm out. And then Rico. You had 2, Rico. Jamarcus Russell, the Walrus. That killed me.
That was good.
But then he says, and I don't care if you have a pain in your left testicle. Why is it got to be the left one? But tonight's...
Because he throws with his right one.
Yeah, he does. His BRT Sizzler Award goes to our one and only Queen Michelle.
Hey, let's go.
Sizzler.
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 Sizzler. We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Mariota. Car to Mariota. Jeff freaks out. All right, appreciate it.
so stupid.
Yes, I am. Appreciate everybody joining us live here tonight for episode number 299 of Raiders Fan Radio. I'll leave it to Jeff to shout out the chat room, but thank you to everybody that participated in the chat tonight, everybody that joined us live. You can do that each and every week. That is Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Jump in there and join us. Thank you to all the amazing donations that we got tonight. That goes 100% to the One Nation Foundation. We love you guys so very, very much. Thank you for the support you give us. And you know what, dude? Congrats to the boy. Be a effing wolf, dude. Let's go.
Let's go, Comp.
Let's go, Comp.
Yep.
Swag Jeff,
Let's
Uncle
go.
Mosh, thank you so much tonight. You guys killed it.
Yeah, man. Hey, and thanks to everyone in the chat. Raiderborn Rico, Big Easy, Black Sunday Joel, who earlier said this only has 3.5 thousand subscribers. What are you doing? This is the best show out there.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for the kind words. And big shout out to the folks that donated tonight. Aaron the Q Dog Raider, Tyrone Graves, Cool Kev, Pirate 1975, C Robles, Franklin 83, Michelle Sweat, Big Raider Trucker, Pineapple. We raised $183 tonight.
Damn.
With the One Nation Foundation.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
We weren't even giving nothing away.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So thank you guys so much. Uncle Mosh, take us home.
Hey, Jeffy.
Yeah.
So, if we beat the Chiefs, I guess you and I are going to have to write a rap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I want Michelle to write the rap.
Oh, well, we'd have to beep it.
I
know
know.
what? She's a neighbor. We'll get with her.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a night. What a night. Thanks for listening tonight. You got my little buddy Swaggy J over there to my right, and to my left, you got my little stupid nephew Murph. This is your old uncle, because it has been your turn in the barrel tonight.
Oh,
so,
my
yeah.
gosh. I was in the crosshairs all night.
You got your old Uncle Mosh, and you've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And we do a little MSR. Don't ever forget what happens in Vegas.
It's SMR.
What is it?
It's ASMR.
Yeah, I'll never remember that.
It doesn't matter.
What happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
Yeah, it did. Tune in next week for SMR.
Adios, malingerers.
Oh, my gosh.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, YouTube.
Thanks for your support.
Drive safe. Get your shots. Wear your mask. Do all the good stuff.
Goodbye.